In time immemorial, the endless war destroyed the balance between yin and yang, plunging the Cadia Riverlands into chaos. As catastrophe loomed, a woman of destiny stepped forth, casting aside divinity for the plight of mortals.
Sacrifice for a fleeting moment of peace in the mortal realm. Does thine heart not regret?
To protect the realm. What is there to regret?
This day, destiny descends once more. Zutian the Ordained, of untold merit and unbound benevolence, preserver of peace and prosperity, unfaded by time. This day, let heaven and earth bear witness as the Phoenix ascends the throne, a realm united toward a new golden age.
From time forgotten to the new dawn, as long as I breathe, Shandu shall never fade!
Now you'll be the best sniper ever!
I'm sorry.
Leave me alone.
No! It's a decoy! Ever since that day, I vowed to keep you safe.
Rule with strength and conviction. Blossom with grace and compassion. My strategy spans centuries, for those I silently guard. From ashes to empress, my rebirth is eternal. The Phoenix reigns!
ये तारा इनको बहुत ज्यादा दिक्कत देने वाला है। थोड़ा सा फिर से यहाँ पर लौट आएंगे, अंदर जाएंगे पॉपअप।
In time immemorial, the endless war destroyed the balance between yin and yang, plunging the Cadia Riverlands into chaos. As catastrophe loomed, a woman of destiny stepped forth, casting aside divinity for the plight of mortals.
is there to regret?
This day, destiny descends once more. Zutian the Ordained, of untold merit and unbound benevolence, preserver of peace and prosperity.
Hello, hello. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Mythic Showdown. This is the season number 1. Here we are coming back with another round of the Swiss stage. We are yet to know top 8 teams which are left to qualify for the, top leaderboard. But let's see which is going to be today. And for today, teams, we got Team Special Grade versus Team Dakusena. Interestingly enough, Dakusena last Swiss round, they weren't able to make it. And this time around, they are here. So I am curious to know. I'm your host, Peachy, and I'm joined by Mikey and Soul Sky today. Let's start with Mikey. Hello, Mikey. How are you doing?
Doing great and waiting for some amazing matches as well. The first match is going to be between Special Grade and Dakusena. Afterwards, we'll go to Stepbros and Zohunt. Both of the matches are going to be a best of 3 series. So, obviously, there are going to be some twists and turns for sure. And I'm really waiting to see what they're going to do in the drafts because after the recent patch, we're seeing a lot of changes in the whole gameplay style and also in the drafting phase. So, let's see if they're going to be doing something new this time or not. Solski.
And
Well,
yep, Soul go ahead.
yep. And as Mikey pointed out very, really well, that the new meta, the new adaptation should be there in the Indian scene so far. So for in terms of new meta, I think players are a little bit struggling to adapt to this new meta because now
Yes.
the attention has shifted. Not I would not say purely to EXP laners, but now I think EXP plays important role also. Like not that earlier also they were a very important role, but now I think EXP plays like a job of a second Roma in my opinion. Like it can give you the set, it can give you the zoning if you depends on the what kind of exp you are playing. So this exp buffs, I mean, gotta see like how players will, I think maybe they had time in this, few I think 2 3 days were there for this stage to begin. So I think they had the time to adapt to this new draft. So let's just see, sorry, new patch. So let's just see how they are gonna adapt to this new meta.
Definitely. I am curious to know what kind of a team composition teams will be bringing out. It's kind of unpredictable as of now, so that's the case. So let's move forward with the draft. Yep, let's go. Draft is here. And let's see. Special grade Dakusena. Dakusena this time on the blue side, so they will be having a upper hand, maybe picking up the glue. For them, the glue have always been such a signature pick, but will they commit to this glue given the fact that the meta has changed towards damage EXP now?
Yep.
And we can already see from the side of Dakusena they went for the Joy ban. Afterwards, we might see a few more bans from both of the side, but Special Grade is going to be going for the next ban. I think they can ban off the Rafaela because right now she has the ability to revive her teammates, and that can be quite problematic. But they went for another support hero, and that is the Matilda Sosuke.
I mean, you know what? Matilda and Joy, these are like the cliche band. It hasn't been, in my opinion, like went away from like past 2 3 seasons. So
Yeah.
along with Kale, like Kale also got nerfed with her range getting short to like from 4.5 something to 4. But still, these heroes are still a threat. I think Joy, in my opinion, in the Indian scene, they disband Joy because they just feel it's just kind of an annoying hero to face against. And obviously, I just feel like that's why the bans are there, because if you don't like a hero, just ban it away. And the glue, this hero has also been into the banning section for almost, I don't know, I think in MPL also it has like quite a good ban rate. I think it's approximately around 60 to 70% ban rate. So yeah, so far so forth. I think all these bans are like not surprising in my opinion. What do you think, PG?
So far, so good. Glue is definitely there as a respect band coming in for Daku Sena. Interestingly enough, Kalia wasn't expecting to see on the ban list, but it is already there. Maybe Daku Sena are really looking forward to that kind of a damage composition, banning out the supports and something like a Lucas as well.
But I don't think Lucas should have been banned because he got nerfed really bad this
Yeah.
time, and he's not in the meta to be honest. But still, they don't want to phase him out. And from the side of special grade, they finally did went for the Rafaela. There are a lot of options open for Dakusena. If they're going for any assassins, Lancelot would be pretty good because the overall mark duration got reduced for him. Arlot is pretty good if they're going for the EXP. And if you're talking about the marksmen, I haven't seen Ixia yet. She got a really good buff this time. But finally, we can
Hmm.
see Lapu Lapu getting picked. Sosuke.
Let's see. Let's see. This time around, I am curious to know for the Lapu Lapu, will there be a Yuzhong or not? On top of that, for special grade though, I mean, they have been playing a lot of Harith with Sanson. Yep, Sanson is there in the lineup as well. So, will they actually commit to Harith this time or something like a Beatrix? For because last time I do remember him getting a maniac on a Beatrix. Mikey.
I think they. Okay, I was actually going to say Uranus because of the region he gets right now. But yeah, they went for it. But Hayabusa, I think, he's pretty decent right now. But they could have gone for something else. They could have gone for something bulky. And this, since they're going for the jungler early on, they could have gone for the Roger. He's pretty good right now. What do you say, Sosuke?
I mean, I think you could have gone for the Roger as well as you had said, but I like Haya. I think his scalability has gotten affected in this recent patch, so yeah, I think it's pretty decent. Again, they're going for a Suyu. Plus, I think Roger. I think in my opinion, I haven't seen a Roger snowball so far, so forth, as far as I'm concerned in this tournament. Plus, I think Roger in the gold lane works pretty quite well also in the jungling as well. But I think like people don't know where the Rogers power spike is right now in this meta because they go for like the Windhugger and the Endless Battle builds. I think that these two items are enough to get the power spike of the Roger. But I still think people the players still haven't gotten the hunch of when the Roger gets power spike. But yep, Jazz and that Harith, along with Suyu and the Harith, perfectly good picks. And to counter that, there is going to be, I think that's a Sanson's classic pick, the
Yep.
sniping, the Beatrix.
Let's go. Interestingly enough, this time around into the first match, wasn't expecting it quite early on coming in from Sanson, but he is going to have a comfortable time in his goal lane. But Harith coming in, will the goal laner from Daku Sena help the team or not? Because there's a Hayabusa. Hayabusa is going to be a good part of diving into the back lanes, making sure that even Jazz or even Haitatsu won't be. But Dakusena do have the potential to actually go, shut down the Hayabusa. They can have an invade potential right from the mid game.
I guess so, but from side of special grade, we can see they went to ban of the Kadita, and I think that's a pretty good decision because right now, the skill durations that are shortened out, like you can see the animations being quite fast right now, and
Yeah.
you cannot stop her ultimate at all without suppression. So that can be deadly in situations. We can see the Batang getting banned out from the Husseina as well, and the Tigreal from special grade. Sosuke.
I mean, Tigrel and Kadita, like, as you mentioned, Kadita is kind of dangerous right now because without the suppression, you can't even, you know, just disrupt her ultimate along with the animation that is just too fast. But the Tigreal ban, I mean, I'm pretty much not too fan of that Tigreal ban. Maybe there is a Tigreal god in the side of DS, but straight away the Badang men ban here, and I think Badang is a quite a good ban right here. But Bakshia, okay, Bakshia also getting banned. I think they don't want to give away the Bakshia roam so that their Harith and their Lapu is in a safe place for now. And the Badang ban and the Tyrell ban. Tyrell, I'm not a big fan, but let's just see how they are gonna take advantage of their first pick in the second picking phase. I think they are gonna go for what they're lacking. They are lacking a roam, I guess. So they might go for a roaming. I think Gato may be an option here.
Oh, Rome, both the sides they do need something. Maybe on a support note, a Rafaela band, so there's nothing much more.
Angela.
Yep, Angela, very less chance. Though. Dakusena can surprise us with an Angela. I do remember they actually come up with kind of a surprise note at
Oh.
the end, but maybe or maybe not. Let's see if they do commit to that or not. But special grade though coming in with a Selena. Interestingly enough, I am not sure of the Selena. They could have gone in for something like a what do you call a farsa maybe.
Hmm.
Parsa could have been good, but Selena is decent as well. The only problem
Yes.
that she's gonna have is with the range. But from the side of special get, they did lack crowd control, so Selena can provide that. Also, she can provide the visions. If she is utilized properly, she can be an asset. But if she is, ambushed quite a lot, or if she engages in a wrong moment, then she's gonna be a liability. So let's see what happens with this pick, because it is I'd say a controversial one. Selena is pretty commonly picked, but overall, what she does in this one is gonna have a big impact because they are literally lacking in range. From the side of Daku Sena, they went for Vexana and Gatos Kacha, two solid picks, decent crowd controls, and decent damage as well. Solski.
Yep, exactly. Plus, I know, even I think SG has gone for Serena because they want to get a pickoffs in the early phase. Because look at the comp, no, like they have Beatrice, which is highly dependent on first two items, plus the Hayabusa. Because of the recent patch, his scalability has been impacted, so you need items for Hayabusa as well. Plus, I think for the lane clearing part, that's why they have gone for the Beatrix because Beatrix has a very good lane clear, and that's a good pick right there. I mean, people are not utilizing this Mino. He also got a massive buff, in my opinion, and I think along with his not discipline but defense has actually increased a lot in this recent patch. So Gato and this Vexana will have to be a little. I mean, will have to position herself. If she position herself well, I think she can figure out her way in this meta. Sorry, in this match. But so far, so for drafting point of view, I think both of the team win. But I might go for DS here this time. What do you guys think?
Ooh. For me, it's going to be special grade. I'm really loving the Minotaur. I was hoping something of a crowd control to come in since the Tigreal is banned. It kind of gave away a hint that they don't want the energy to be matched by Takusena. So I'm liking that. But Mikey, what about your choice?
I'd say from the side of Dakusena, they have a balanced out draft, but from the side of special grade, they do have a special draft on their hand. They have a EXP who focuses on regen. They have a marksman who has versatile guns for different ranges, and they've got the Hayabusa who can just dive in with the quad shadows to steal the turtle or lords. So there is a high possibility for them if they're able to utilize their skills. The Minotaur can heal them up. Selena can use the Abyssal Arrow and all. So they have a pretty good chance. So my bet's on special grade in this time.
And that we are here in the land of dawn, so you guys take it away.
How much are you willing to bet, by the way? Just kidding, just kidding. And now you have mentioned it, but I forgot about the Minotaur's heal. My bad. So, and for the melting point of view, Harith, how much can Harith melt? I think I think, gotta have a lot of snowball in the early phase. So that's how he's gonna melt. But you don't forget about, I think Suyu as as a fighter will be having a little bit, I would say, a tough time. So they gotta balance it out between whether who to take first. Because Minotaur with the heal along with the Uranus, I mean, it's kind of annoying. Plus, you're gonna go for that. What do you call that? What is the support first item? I forgot. I'm not getting the name. I don't know what it is called. But yeah, never mind. So now, okay, Samsung Galaxy right there. Just going for that micro place there, and they will be using the retribution along with Suyu. He will also get it. But remember, the Abyssal Arrow is there. The mark is on point. But never mind. That's a little bit skirmish. There, not enough damage.
Absolutely. If Minotaur gets the Flask of Voices, I think you were talking about that.
Yes.
If he goes
Thank
for
you.
that, there is a high possibility that they'll have a really good advantage in the early on because the overall heal he can provide from that point, it's going to be quite problematic for the Husseina. But in the meantime, we can see the turtle spawn in the top lane. Hayabusa already going in for the turtle. There is going to be a competition from the Husseina, but in the top lane, we can see the Abyssal Arrow from Selena. Lapu Lapu retreating. I don't think they should be forcing a fight over there. They should be focusing on the turtle instead. And let's see who gets the turtle. Jazz in a very low HP. Selena doing a good amount of damage over here. Vixana already used up her ultimate over here. But let's see what happens. Turtle was secured by Samsung Galaxy. Goes to the side of special grade.
I mean, the hell you are doing, Vexana? You were supposed to go back from back that other side. I would say that's a positioning issue from Vexana right there. I think she got a little bit confused. Meanwhile, you can see in the bottom lane there is a skirmish as well, man. Abyssal Arrow, and that's a Chocopie with a
Happens.
recall taunt and perfectly executed by that Selena. You know, this is what I was talking about. They are looking for the first pick up, but never mind. We can see the top. Sorry, in the bottom lane there is a Sanson who is in quite too low, but AOTG misses out widely. Hyde also going in for that, but there is the heal from the Minotaur that we talked about, and now he will getting the knockup from the Minotaur and will fall down from the hands of Sanson. A major error from the side of DS right now. SG, I think they're utilizing their draft to the fullest potential right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Minotaur's heal, Selena's traps, and the overall damage coming out from the whole team. That's too intense. I think from the side of Daku Sena, if Vixana had a bit of a better position, that would have been better. I think if Gadot Kacha stays up front a little bit, makes up space for her, then things can be a little bit better for Daku Sena. Because we could see that Vixana's Eternal Guard was wasted in the top lane, unfortunately, because she didn't have anyone up front to give her that kind of backup. But already we can see a bit of poke going on. Uranus being the tanky hero he is, just goes in to poke around. Suyo will have a hard time in the jungle maybe, but let's see what happens in the bottom lane. A fight might break out, but already assuming that from the side of Dakusena, they will be staying around the turret. I don't think they will be going for a fight, but already we can see Jazz taking up a bit of damage. Also Suyo is taking a lot of damage, might be taking out flicker being used to retreat from that situation. Uris will evade. Selena could have gone for the Suyo, but yeah, the Eternal Guard saved Suyo over there. Solski.
Yeah, exactly. Uranus is being a pain in the nose. Not that what you were thinking about what I was gonna say, but yeah. So yep, you got it. But Haitatsu, I think he is having a pretty much hard time to whom to protect and whom not to protect. Plus, this Mino Uranus combo is proving to be a lethal combination right there. I might lose the bet here. It's good that I didn't put any money, by the way. So yep. And for the first item, Uranus has opted for this anti-cuirasis. And why is that? I think because of the Sui. Obviously, there is a Zaman Force in the bottom lane. Funny Valentine, quite too low. Misses out with the AOTG again. Sansin might be in danger. Soul Seaver, but Soul Seaver will do the job for the Sansin. Now the first kill will go towards the side of Team DS by the hands of, I would say, let's just say, 3 people need to take out 1 people. That's the Sansin, I would say. So that's much how potential Sansa is proving to be. But meanwhile, you can see the
Oh my
combination
god.
quad shot right there, but quite too low. Haitatsu manages to survive with the revitalized with no one Fury is on point. There is the Purify Zaman Force. Not a very good positioning of the Zaman Force, the bravest fighter of them all. And now this time, retaliation is there from the side of Team DS. Vortex also has been popped up, but the rocket launcher from the Sansin quite too low. There is the Haitatsu giving the stun to that Uranus. Meanwhile, Abyssal Arrow on point, flickering in. No, you shouldn't have to. He would have died right there. And that's a greedy, my guys. And for that greediness, that they will pay from their life this time. And funny random, they will be eating a sniper.
Ooh, the damage.
Sansin.
I think from the side of Dakusena, the best thing they did right now was holding on to the Minotaur, and they just continuously forced the fight over there. From the side of Special Grade, they were forced to stay around it, and Dakusena just took the complete advantage out of it. From the top lane, that he would have fallen down, but is still holding on. From the looks of it, there is a possibility of a fight, but that's gonna be in the turtle lane, since the turtle is gonna be spawning in the bottom lane's river. In the mid lane, there might be a poking going on, but I don't think they will go for a fight. But let's see what they're gonna do. Already, both of the teams are rotating towards the turtle lane, and they are trying to hold on to the whole position, trying to zone out a bit. But let's see what happens, Olski.
Yep, the turtle now this time second turtle or maybe third turtle will go towards the side of team DS this time. And now Quad Shadow misses out. I think Quad Shadow, something else could use Quad Shadow to its optimal, but never mind, there is the Roxy quite too low. Will go back, but no, will not survive the day and will not be able to be alive to see the next day because he will be taken down from that Suyu. Meanwhile, you can see in the bottom lane there is a little skirmish area going, but Sanson got to commend his gold laning right now because he took out solo that Harith, but even though he fall down, but yep, that's the firepower that they have right now with the Sanson. But there is a good protection coming in from the side of Team DS2. That's Suyu, but Suyu quite just standing there. Might be a lagging, might get okay. Never mind, he got stunned by the Selena. Meanwhile, we can see Selena is not in a very good position. Not Selena, Sanson is not in a very good position, and not with a good gun as well. Meanwhile, AOTG again misses out like a wildly. Meanwhile, you can see there is the Quad Shadow, but getting stunned from that Vexana. Quite too low here. Uranus will try to survive, and right now might get the kill of that Aaron, but will first survive now, and there will be the end of this team fight. Meanwhile, we can see. Did I see just a Kiashi going in with that? I would say a Sky Piercer in that Suyu.
Can we look at the items a bit?
Oh yeah, he went it.
He went for it. On the side of Minotaur, he already went with the armor over here. He hasn't completed the anti-curious, but he did went for the Flask of Oasis. So that's gonna add up to the heal. But from the side of Dakusena, already we can see the glowing wand from Vexana. So that's gonna work up against the anti-life. That's gonna be the anti-life steal of their team. Also, we can see Gatot is going for dominant side, but already Sansin was taken out by Zaz over there. A good initiation coming out from Dakusena. Already a fight might break away. 3 days grace is trying to poke as much as he can, but he should stay away from any crowd controls. In the bottom lane, we can see that Special Grade has lost their tier 3 already from the side of Dakusena. They were successfully able to take up 2 tier 3 turrets from the top and bottom lane. The Lord has arrived in the bottom lane's river. From the side of Dakusena, they're going to be focusing on the Lord maybe, but let's see if they are actually trying to go for the Lord, or is it a bait. Already Funny Valentine used up the Zaman force, but it actually went for a waste. Minon Fury being used up, a fight being broken out already. Haitatsu is in a very low HP, will try to retreat. Thirge's race is trying to focus on Stain, and Stain was taken out. Zaz was taken out by Sansin. Already Hayabusa is focusing on Suyo, but Suyo was taken out by Sansin again. Double kill for Batrix. In the bottom lane, we can see Funny Valentine is trying to retreat, but that is after all a Uranus, so he's gonna be poking around. Had it against Selena and Uranus, won't be able to sustain. He'll try to retreat for sure, was successful enough to do so, but from the side of Special Grade, they do have a chance to do a comeback in this situation because it was a bad turnaround from the past couple of minutes. They finally got the Lord, and let's see what they can utilize with this one.
Yep, exactly. But I love the fact how Special Grid forced the fight this time with the Minoan Fury. Roxy with that, I think, Flicker Minoan Fury getting this turn onto the good people. But meanwhile, we can see again 3 days grace getting caught off guard, but will have the Flicker to reposition himself. Meanwhile, nobody. I would like to see that SG Sanson. Nobody's going for the Sanson this time because he is just too, I would say, stacked up right now with his builds. Plus, I think he can melt away a good amount of HP of these frontliners of the side of Team DA, so they gotta watch out for the rocket launcher ultimate which they have used. Meanwhle, you can see Haitatsu have used the revitalized right there. They are trying to force on the Lord. Meanwhile, Vexana getting caught into that missile arrow, and 3 days grace will go inside. There will be a Minoan Fury. Jazz is quite too low, but Jazz with a good bravest fighter turn right there. Suyu will have to fall back with a dash, and the Quad Shadow plus the Shadow Kill ultimate from the Hayabusa was also on point, but still fails to take down anyone right there. Meanwhile, we can see they are trying to force down the mid-lane inhibitor right there. Will they be successful? I don't think so. But there's a Zaman force. There will be the Flicker. Roxy quite too low. Roxy will take him down. 3 days grace is not getting affected by anyone. But never mind, he will get affected by this Harith because he just shrinking down the HP like it's nothing. And that's the, I think that's the price to pay because you just overstayed in the mid lane, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. Can we look at the belts a bit? On the side of special grade, they have the whole crystal, sorry, glowing one for Selena, and from the side of Minotaur, he hasn't gone for the dominance ice. I think that is needed a bit because there's Suyo, there's Lapu Lapu, also the Harriet. It's a lot of spell ramp coming out from Dahusena to counter it out. They will need that, but yeah, I think Selena can initiate with the glowing one, but that's quite minimal. They will need anti-life steal again in the mid lane. A fight breaking out. The one was being used. Mega kill by the Harriet over here. Beatrix was taken down. Roxy is trying to retreat, but wasn't able to do so. Kyashi took out the Minotaur of special grade. Samsung Galaxy is trying to retreat. We can see another engage by Gatot Kacha. And with that being said, Suyo went in, but Harriet was the one who secured the kill of Hayabusa. 3 days grace, tried to retreat but wasn't able to. The crowd control was too much. Right now it's just Selena trying to hold on to the inhibitor and the base, but from the side of Dakusena they will engage towards the inhibitor and they will be able to get this turret as well, but maybe not the base, since we can see the Beatrix has arrived. We can see this abyssal arrow being put up, but it won't be utilized.
Yep, exactly. That was a very beautifully, I would say, done by Haitatsu, I guess. And I think that was Stain's part was also there into that stun to that Sanson. And taking out a Sanson is just a major part for Dakusina to win every team fight because Sanson, as we have seen in his build, that he has gone for a lot of shedding item like malefic gun plus along with, I think, and also the Hayabusa is also pretty stacked up, but there will be the pause. I think there might be some technical issue or maybe some player issue as well. We will get to know about it, but meanwhile we will be back into the casters decks. Let's just talk about the last team fight because it was just played out beautifully by the DS. The comeback was there from the team fight, and I think the overstayed paved the way for Dakushina to to make a comeback in this match, in this fight. Now they are onto the lead, and if we see the neutral objective wise, I think they are one turret ahead, Team SG from Team DS. But for now, we will be back after the pause. Height also quite too low right there. And as you said, they gotta need some anti-heal from that Selena too, because there is a lot of healing coming from the Lapu Lapu as well as from that Haitatsu. So let us see how both the teams will play out this Lord Dance, because I think if we see opposite lane pressure, okay, there is Kayashi. He's quite too low. Will be getting the shadow kill, but will survive because Haitatsu was there. There was a revitalize as well. But remember, Hayabusa have used that retribution.
Uranus is
Sansin
low.
trying to zone out. There is no retribution, and yep, Sansin will take that Lord before even Kayashi uses retribution. And I think that was a very good call coming from the Sansin right there.
Absolutely, they just. I think Hayabusa went in towards Karashi beforehand to make him, reduce the HP or take him out at that time so that they can focus on the Lord a bit more. And it was a successful move over there. Right now, from the side of Dakusena, they're trying to, take out the Lord, and I think they'll be able to do so as well. But in the meanwhile, from the side of Special Grade, they might go for the inhibitor turrets in the top lane and the bottom lane. The minion pressure is quite a lot. They are focusing on the top lane, but in the bottom lane, it's Lapu Lapu. It's gonna take a bit of time, maybe, but no, he's able to take it out quite easily. In the top lane, there is a bit of gathering from the side of Special Grade. All of them are focusing around the top and mid lane. Along with the Lord, they might go in for a fight. Already we can see that Uranus is still going in, trying to force them out, the skills they have. And I think they are successful in it. Zaman for is being used. Hayabusa goes in. Okay, shadow kill. But no, he wasn't able to do so. Haitatsu took out Hayabusa. That is a bad thing. AOG being put up. Kyashi was taken out in the process by Selena. Roxy is trying to read Flicker being used. Lapu Lapu with the previous fighter. Sansin was taken out in the process. An amazing engage by Lapu Lapu. The Flicker and previous fighter was amazing. Right now, from the side of Special Grid, they will retreat. They don't have any damage dealers in their team right now. So it's better to just stay in the defense and wait for the revival.
Exactly. Man, what in the hell? This guy was sinking Samsung Galaxy. There was no shadow onto the people. It was just, a free. I would say they knew that you were gonna teleport there because you didn't have, I would say, a good positioning of the, the quad shadow. and he just
Mhm.
got stunned by from first Vexana, then there was taunt from Haitatsu, and you just need that only to release Hayabusa, I guess. I mean, he just got to use his, I would say, his quad shadow up to the point. I think he's not using that quad shadow. I would say not very gracefully, but he's not utilizing his potential of the quad shadow. I would say fully, because whenever he's using quad shadow, it is not hitting onto any people. It just basically showing that yeah, he will just teleport there because it's a free. Whenever there is a wrong position of the quad shadow, enemy knows that where you're going to teleport. So that's a very important point that you use that quad shadow onto the people, not just
In the
freely
top
here and
lane,
there. Meanwhile,
Hayabusa,
lane
Suyo.
as well, we can see there is a high touch AOTG onto the point. 3 days grace quite too low. Samsung uses rocket launcher ultimate to just zone out. They will get the bottle in turret this time. So now, I think that was a previous defense was too good from the side of Team DS, in my opinion. Now the 11 seconds for Lord, and now I would say the goal difference is hovering towards Dakusina. Still, I would like to see some itemization right now because I think Halep might have gotten his full build because it's 5-1-10 right now, and the Lord is up. They're not waiting for 18 minutes Lord, they're just melting this Lord only. And we can see this Uranus has gone for Twilight Armor as well because there is just too much burst damage coming from the side of Team DS right there. And now the Lord will be going toward the side of Team DS, plus the roaming is also there. The encourage roam from Vexana. I mean, do you think that Vexana could have gone for dire hit as well?
I don't think Direhit would have been that
Optimal.
effective for her.
Yeah.
I don't think so, but yeah, if they want to be creative and try out new things, they can obviously go for it. And already the Lord advantage is for the side of Dakusena. They did get the Lord without any competition because they were able to take out Hayabusa beforehand. And right now they are trying to force out the turrets in the top lane, but let's see if that actually happens or not. Already a bit of poking going on. The Lord is arriving from the mid lane. It will go directly for the base because there is no inhibitor in the mid lane already. For special good, they lost their top lane tier 2, and Suyo is already going for the inhibitor in the top lane. And let's see what happens. Already a bit of engage. AOG being used up. Flicker being used at the process. Gazokaze is trying to retreat. Minu and Fury being used up. Base might get locked from the side of Dakusen, and they are locking on turret. The base is down. And with that being said, the first round is won by none other than Dakusena.
Yep, exactly. I think Team AC just did a very bad blunder in this match, to be honest, because they just threw, I think, one or two fights, and that's what you need in this, in this game to, come make a comeback. But yep, PT is here, and also I won the bet, by the way.
Hello, hello. Thank you, thank you. And what a game that we have just seen. Interestingly enough, the Lapu Lapu, I feel like Lapu Lapu had a very good role in giving them the win that they were needing. Look at that, 3 to 8. Jazz really did a very good job. And top of that, Funny Valentine also getting farmed up against a Beatrix. Come on, look at that. Crazy.
I guess so, but I think from the side of special grid, they finally didn't actually go for the anti-lifesteal from the side of the front laners at least. The front laners would be the Minato and the Uranus. I think they should have gone for it. We can see Hayabusa, Beatrix, and even Selena with three individual anti-lifesteals, but. I think the front laners, if they had it, that would have been better. They would have been able to sustain a bit more, but that didn't happen, and they weren't able to lock onto the Harith, unfortunately. And he just dealt a lot of damage from the mid game to late game. The Beatrix was doing really great, but afterwards she was being locked on, and because of that, she wasn't able to do much afterwards.
True. And Samsung Galaxy, though, I mean, his farm was interrupted a lot, as expected in this meta. You have to look out for taking those little creeps off your enemy. You have to make sure to get your making sure that the enemy won't be having enough farm to actually make a comeback. Right now is just the best of 3 matches. We are yet to proceed towards the match number 2, but I do believe special grade do have in them to get a comeback, maybe pushing it to the game number 3. What do you think about that, Soul Sky?
Maybe I think they can push it to the game 3, but I think they might, they have they have, what do you call it, the potential to make this, make this game go to game number three. But as this Mikey mentioned that they longed on to Samson, that's why they couldn't pull it off. But I think they made a lot of blunders in this game because they were overstaying in a lot of fights, in my opinion. And also, Serena went in even though I think that a kill was secured in that Katot Casa because he was just too low, and there was a mark of the abyssal mark also. So I don't like they did some micro mistake, and because of that micro mistake, and also they didn't lock on to the, I would say, Hayabusa. Sorry, not Hayabusa, but the Harith as well. I think Samsung Galaxy could have taken down that Harith, in my opinion, so that they might have could have won that this match. But you know what? Mistakes happen, so you gotta focus on the future, I guess. Oh, sorry, present.
I
That's
think the
true.
biggest issue in this particular round was that from the early on, from the side of a special grade, they did have a good amount of a goal lead, but afterwards, the first fight that broke out, they were being a little bit greedy, I must say, and that
Hmm.
backfired for them. And they were from the side of Dakusena, they were able to equalize the whole goal difference that special grade created, and that was the turning point for Dakusena in this round.
Interesting, though. I mean, for special grade, come on, they have been here trying to push out another win for to actually qualify for the playoffs. As of now, only two teams have qualified. That would be Team LCF and Team Tartarus, already on with the three wins in the Swiss state. Also, special grade trying to do the same. Dakusena also having eyes on that. I'm pretty sure they would love to get another win right here, but both of them are being in the same plane as of now. The special grade, I believe, if they could have went in for a Fasa or even a Sicilian, could have given a little bit of a utility into the team fights. But let's see the next game because it's just not over. Special grade do have another chance. Gakusena also have a chance. I mean, they could face a game number three. That's highly possible. We are talking about special grade, who's been like such a remarkable team right here in the Mythic Showdown season number one. Don't you think so, Sky?
Yep, exactly. I think yeah, there is the potential to become to make this game go to game number three. But you know what? I think DS will also try to make this game finish in just as quick as possible because they don't want to make a pressure on themselves because they got the lead and they know the pressure is on the special grade, so they will try to pressure it more. It depends on the special grade how they take that pressure into their heads and how goodly they manage this pressure and make this go to game number three, or maybe you might see a DS going for the clean sweep, I guess.
Possible. Anything could be possible, but back again into the draft. Here we go. Both the teams are all ready, and this time around, special grade on the blue side. What are they going to pick? I do kind of feel the Barang as the first pick is right there.
That is a possibility, but I think Arlot would be really good again, instead of Badang, because the final slash flicker does have a lot of range, and Harith got banned from side of special grade, which was expected by the last match's result. Harith was unstoppable over there, did an amazing job, got the MVP as well. Joy being banned up again by Dakusena, next ban from the side of special grade. They can focus on multiple roles, but let's see what they're going to be focusing on. They can focus on, the support heroes, Mathilda, Rafaela, but since they have the first pick, I think Dakusena are the one who will do that. So from there in, they can focus on the gold lane this time, because in the last round, the gold lane did have a bit of a blunder for their end. So Sky.
The Gareth ban is right there, and somebody in the chat there has said that. No, not somebody. It just they said that they will ban Harith, and that's the only plane. And yet, brother, they have banned the Harith. They don't want to give away this joy. Also, I think I have noticed a pattern against this SG that nobody wants to give them the Harith because Samsung Galaxy. I think he's just a better version of the Samsung Galaxy. He has, I think, Samsung Galaxy to play that joy better, I guess. So I've seen at this pattern because they just don't ever open joy for. I mean, most of the matches they don't open joy for Samsung Galaxy. So yeah, that's a pattern that I noticed. But now the Harith is banned. Plus the glow is also banned. So far so forth, three bans are exactly the same ban as previous match, except this Harith. So what do you think about it?
Ooh. Harriet. Okay, Harriet is already banned, but that is coming in from special grade though. I wasn't expecting it given the fact that they could have put Sanson on him. For him, if I have to rank in like marksman that he has played over the years, over I mean no, I mean over the months, it would be Harriet, Beatrix, and then the Erethel. So, should have opened up the Harriet for him, but it's okay. They do have something else as the first pick, and they don't want to give it out. So on to the same note, what is it going to be as the first pick? Barang is open. You're talking about the EXP
Matilda is
trainers.
open.
Oh, yep, you got it right, Mikey.
And yeah, it's in. I think from the side of Dakusena, they could have gone for the Matilda ban instead of the Lucas,
Yeah.
because I think Matilda is far more utilizable than Lucas right now. The Circling Eagle can be a big utility, and the support shares she can provide the overall shields to her teammates, and that can be quite helpful in team fights. So Special Get do have an advantage when it comes to the roamers, but let's see what Dakusena goes for. When it comes to the EXP, there are a lot of options right now, but they went for the Lapu Lapu again, and we can see the Hayabusa getting picked up as well. For the side of special grade, I think they can go for, as you said, Pichi Badang can be an option, but Arlot can be an option as well. If they want, they can try out other EXPs. For the gold lane, I highly think Leslie can be a good option. Might be controversial, but I think so. Solski.
Leslie. I
Yeah,
heard it right. Yeah, Leslie, right? Yeah, I think if you have the lane clear, yes, just go for the Leslie. I think Leslie can chunk down any, after this, this recent buff, it can chunk
Ixia
down
too,
any.
but she's not used that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean,
There is the yeah.
I always say they don't use Ixia, man. I mean, I don't know why, because except I think LCF had used in one match the Ixia. Ixia now has 30 seconds cooldown the late game. Not even the
Yep.
late game. You just gotta have to the 15 level. The max you have to go. Make your level max, and you have 30 seconds ultimate. Funny Melton will go for. Okay, that's a good pick. I mean, not a good pick, but I would say a decent pick for the side of Team DS for this Nighton. Now this time Kiyashi has gone for the. And to be honest, I'm not a big fan of Hayabusa against Fredrin, because if you have little, you need MS for it. If this is DS server, so you can use Quad Shadow so fastly that you can even use straight away go to you know that shadow kill without even a slight of delay or anything. Then you can survive it, but you need MS, good MS to play this Hayabusa against the likes of Fredrin along with that R lot. So and plus the support is just too annoying to be when you play Hayabusa. As a Hayabusa player myself, I just don't like against play Hayabusa against supports, because whenever they're low, whenever you think that your Sky Piercer will proc off, then there is some support that gives them the shield, and you're like, nah, man, come on. But yep, the Moscow band is there for the Samson, I guess, and now the second drafting phase
Yes,
has
sir.
begun. Arlot, I think, is a good choice against Lapu Lapu. So they're gonna have something to melt down the Arlot, or just to get catch Arlot, or catch, like catch, I mean, at least a suppression or maybe some stuns for Arlot.
A Franco could was fit in right well in that description if you want to go in for a suppression or even a Kaja, but against a
Raja
Matilda
is
could
underrated.
be, yep,
Baksha is there
could be a little
till
bit,
now.
Yeah,
oh. But Bakshia Rome though, I mean, come on, the past few days in the round number 3 as well, the Bakshia win rate has been just skyrocketed downwards. Not even one single match I have seen that the Bakshia was having a very good time. So this time around, maybe or maybe not, they will commit to that. It's still on the air. It still is such a good pick. It's just not. It's here some matches it's just not viable. So that is why it doesn't work. But for here, it could work though. You're talking about Fredrin. It could give out the slow down for him as well because he's going to be coming in and tanking those turret damage.
Absolutely. And Baksha can be good against Mathilda and Arlot as well. So let's see if they're actually going for it. Because at the end of the day, what matters is the initiation and the whole composition. If they're not comfortable with it, if the whole hero
Oh,
lineup they have is not comfortable with that or not suitable with that, then they won't be going for it. You can see the Novaria getting picked up. I can't remember the last time I saw her in this tournament, if she was even picked up or not. But
I
yeah,
think
Novaria is going to be pretty good. She's going to be a pretty good scout for the team, and in the mid to late game, she can deal a lot of damage. But she will have to be safe from the Leon. Mostly, they're going to be a scout. But I'm finally seeing the Kadita getting picked up. Was waiting for it, but she was banned in the last round, and also the Irithel got picked up by special grade. Both of the heroes are good, but let's see how they are going to be utilizing this one. They have good crowd controls and damage as well. They have a pretty balanced lineup. Sosuke.
I mean, in my opinion, I guess the reason that they picked this Novaria, I think they were, like if somebody goes inside for the vision, they might get picked off from the Sredrin. So that's why they have gone for a safer way to give vision. And plus, against this Karita, which you have to play like an assassin because, yeah, obviously because it's Karita. So I think Novaria is a good face off against Kadita, but you have to this time. I think you can use Karita against Fredrin and Allot, but the coupling it with Matilda, I think it's pretty much hard to aim. The only one thing I think they got to do is to wait for a little bit slow from their team, then Karita can use her Astro Recall, I would say, accurately. But so far, so far, the drafting has been complete. We will be marching to the land of dawn. So, Peachy, who are you supporting right now? Who you think that has a better draft?
Oh, I'm going in for the Novaria and the Tigreal ban, but here we are into the land of dawn. So Sky and Mikey, take it away. Let's see if we get a game number 3 or not.
Well. Already in the land of dawn, both of the teams are gonna be going against. They'll do a very basic rotation early on. I don't think early on they will have any fights until the first turtle, but there might be something special as well. In the mid lane, we can see Matilda and Kadita might rotate towards the bottom lane. But already from side of Dakusena, Tigreal has gone towards the top lane. He might engage a very little possibility for any kills being secured, in my opinion. Sosuke.
Yep, exactly. I think, uh, as you mentioned, that is a very good possibility that can happen. But let's just see like how they're gonna execute, as you said in the earlier that it all draft is good, but everything boils down to initiation. Like it's a, I would say earlier I used to say it's like 70, 60-40, 60% draft, 40% execution. But I think now it has become 50-50. If you execute your draft, maybe if you use your execution well, okay, there is a slight micro play, but misses out. I think that's a misses. Kyashi misses out with the retribution. In my opinion, Samsung Galaxy is level 4 now. Everyone is level 4 now, so they might look out for some early engages. I think Hyde also might get caught off guard here, and I think Appraiser's Wrath will also be there on point. Yep, okay, the flicker is on point. Meanwhile, we can see the shadow is there. We'll go for the shadow kill or not? No, I don't think so. And we'll, okay, he used shadow kill, but we'll have to fall back for now. So what I was talking about, this is what I was talking about. Like if you get caught by Fredin in the early game, it's hard to get away. Instead, if you don't have the flicker, but you can see the Samson quite too low. Doesn't have the purify as well. Quite too low, but we have the quantum charge as well. But Samson made a blunder, went in, but now this time you know. I think that was a good trade-off between both the gold laners right now. Meanwhile, we can see that the early shadow has been used from the Hayabusa, and 3 days grace or 30 days grace is trying to zone out them, the Kyashi. So he doesn't have the quad shadow by the way right now. So I think it will be quite difficult for him to get this turtle. Yep. And now Arnold going in, and that's a burst down to the Jazz right now, right there. Didn't even get a chance to use his ultimate as well. And Samsung Galaxy might go in for that retribution and will secure the blue buff as well. Yes, he secured it. I think he didn't secure it. I think somebody else secured. But yep, I think Hayabusa didn't get that blue buff, and he will be focusing on the red buff now, right now.
Yeah, already we can see Novara is trying to poke up a bit with the Astral Recall. Irithel and Nathan, both of them were chasing each other in the top lane a while ago, and it was one for until, and that was. I thought Nathan was able to take out Irithel, but finally Irithel was, do equal trade at that point. In the bottom lane, we can see the EXP laners, Alot and Lapu Lapu, both of them are poking around, but I don't think anything's going to happen over there. There is the rotation possibility towards the top lane, since we can see Hayabusa, Novaria and Tigreal around the top lane Striva. And I think there might be an ambush over there. Matilda is roaming around a bit. She will get the vision of Tigreal in a while. And yeah, already she got the vision. Hayabusa goes in with the quad shadows. Oogie shadow kill being used up. Sanchen is still surviving, but It was able to retreat. Oh my god, the astral recall, the precision, it was taken out in the process. Hayabusa by Matilda. In the top lane, we can see a continuous engage still now. But I don't think from side of Special Gate they should continue any longer. They should retreat a bit. And Fredin should focus on the farm right now, and that's what he's doing. Right now, the kill score is 3/2. The gold lane is on the side of Special Grade, and till now we haven't seen any kind of turrets being pushed up. I think they're gonna be going towards the gold lane in a bit, since the turtle is gonna be spawning in the top lane's river. But before that, there might be an ambush towards the mid lane. What do you think?
Yeah, there is a flicker final slash from 33 days grace as well. But we'll be using the guiding winds to follow back. The astral recall misses out. Meanwhile, we can see Samson just trying to poke down something. Haitatsu might cook something here. Remember, Samson doesn't have the purify, just need 20 seconds
Ooh,
to purify. Meanwhile, we can see there is a blunder from the 3 days grace, and the implosion might also be there. There is entropy, but never mind, will fall down from the hands of Kadeta. Jazz is quite too low, and Jazz might also get taken down here. He has it. Flicker to follow back, and yep, he will reposition himself from the flicker. Meanwhile, we can see that's a very good trade-off coming from the supporter sides for Nathan getting down. From that Kadita's, I would say Kadita's combination. I think he just got caught off guard there.
Yeah, right now from side of Dakusina, they are logging on to the turtle, and high possibility they'll get that because we can't see Fredin around. Hayabusa got it, and right now from side of Special Grade, they are logging on to the Tigreal. Final Slash was used up. Haitatsu was taken out by Sansin in the process. Right now we can see a little bit of lead for the side of Special Grade when it comes to kills, but when it comes to the gold, both of them are equalized. So whoever has the better economy right now will have an advantage for sure. But right now they're on an equal ground. In the top lane, we can see a bit of an engage. Nathan, Hayabusa, both of them going against Fredrin with the Abrasive stat. The amount of damage with the Abrasive was insane, but he survived in the process with the help of Matilda. But Funny Valentine just took up a lot of damage and survived, was retreated in the process. But right now, Special Gate was able to take out the tier 3 turret of the top lane, and that is gonna be a good advantage for sure.
Yep, that's an implosion onto the Samsung Galaxy. Will survive the day with the guiding winds. And no, man, that wasn't supposed to be. That's just too much resources. Flicker and an implosion is insane, man. You shouldn't. When your team is retreating, you shouldn't engage. I guess that was not a very good engage in my opinion. But I would like to see some
Mid lane.
optimization right there. Meanwhile, we can see Kashi quite too low. We'll have to follow back. Meanwhile, we can see 3 days gaze has that flicker. Will go for the flicker or not? I don't think so. And yep, he won't. 3 days grace will go for that blue buff. Meanwhile, Hayabusa didn't recall. We can see entropy has already been used from that Funny Valentine, quite too low right now. 3 days gaze is going in against Samsung Galaxy, quite too into the turret. I thought so, quite too low. Astral Echo is also on point right now. Meanwhile, we can see that's a good shadow kill from that Kiashi onto the 2 people. Sanson will taken down from that Funny Valentine and will show the sticker right now. D is on a roll right now. Meanwhile, I'd like to see some itemization because I think Funny Valentine has bought Stallium Scythe right now. Jazz again going in with the help of that bravest fighter of them all. Chocoboy quite too low, will fall down. Again, not a very good fan of that engage. Meanwhile, you can see in the mid lane there is a Hayabusa will take down that enough camera kill. Again, now, my bad by the way, heroes. Can you show me the itemization again? Because couldn't get the glimpse of it. Meanwhile, you can see, okay, the brute force as a first item in the thread rain. I mean, might work and when you are I think I don't know, but I'm not a big fan of the first item as a brute force. You think you have that mobility with the Matilda, you don't need extra mobility with that brute force. Could have gone for maybe a rope for this Nathan and gone for that this anti-cuirassive the Alot has built, and Alot has actually built anti-cuirassive for the Hayabusa so that they don't get taken away by the Kiashi and all. We can see there is genius wand from this mage. No anti-heal, I think, at this point of time. Meanwhile, you can see Jai is quite too low. Will be getting not quite too low, but will be using his bravest fighter of them all. So yes, Mikey, what do you think?
Right now, I think both of them are going to be playing safe, but Dakusena does have the goal advantage right now, so they should hold on to it. They should snowball it as much as they can, and from time to time, we can see a little bit of poking going around, but we haven't seen any kind of commitments in the recent time. Even the last turtle fight was uncontested. But when it comes to the turrets, I think Dakusena has a really good advantage because they were able to take out the tier 3 turrets for of special grade, and with that they will be able to get a bit of map control that opens up the horizon a bit more and gives them better opportunities for initiations. Already a bit of an engage on Matilda with the help of Matilda, and yeah, we can see as Novaria was taken down by Iritel in the process. Kayashi will retreat a bit, but a fight is broken out. Roxy was taken out by Funny Valentine in the process. Funny Valentine is chased up. Final slash being used up. Days Grace took out Nolan. As the Galaxy was taken out in the process. Kayashi with a double kill over there. 3 Days Grace with very low HP will be taken down for sure. Triple kill for Hayabusa in the process. It is only the Irithel who is standing for the side of Special Grace. From the side of Dakusena, they will go aggressive. They will hit hard in the mid lane. And let's see what Irithel can do.
Yeah, exactly. I think, and that's okay. Never mind. Ethel might get no. Never mind. It will not fall down for now. Quite too low, but yep, as a support item will make sense and survive the day for now. And that was a very good implosion out of the three people. Waited for that purify to bait it out, and then take took down at least three members. I think that triple kill, as you mentioned, from the Hayabusa, insane. I would say that was a very good engage coming from the side of DS. Meanwhile, I would say that was a very risky engage coming from that Matilda Roxy along with Sansin just to take out Novaria. In the process, your whole team wasn't organized to support you, and you made your whole team to use their, I would say, make them opposition. Meanwhile, you can see there might be the shadow kill in the bottom lane. We'll be using the quad shadow. Will survive the day for now. I think Jazz will be there to support that Kyashi Lord will taken down onto the process from the Fanny Valentine. A good trade coming off from the side of Team DS. Jazz is ready to survive, make a play right now. Quite too low Samsung Galaxy right now. Might go for an implosion right there. Haitatsu. Okay, that's a final slash. That's a flicker. But misses out right now with the stuns. And no, man. You shouldn't go after you have taken the Lord because already you have used your resources. So for now, the trade off will go towards the SG, but that's I would say DS has a good advantage right now to take the neutral objectives that they want right now.
They also got the Lord, so they will be pushing a lot right now. But let's see if they can, take out all inhibitors or not, or Special Grid is able to defend all of it. Already we can see the Shadow Kill being used up, Various Fighter being used, Final Slash as well, a lot of things going on, a lot of damage. Entropy being used by Nathan as well. The Lord was defended successfully by the side of Special Grade, but we can see the rough ways being used up. Kyashi will try to retreat. Chocopie was taken out by Funny Valentine. Right now, the damage from Kadita was too much, but with the quad shadows, Hayabusa was able to retreat from that. Otherwise, it was game over for him. Or again, we can see the brave fighter being used up. Sansin is in low HP, will be taken out by Zaz. Another engage, Entropy being used up. Monster kill for Hayabusa. Took out the Matilda. It's only two for the side of Special Grade. It's Fredin and Arlot. Very low possibility for them to defend it right now because it's gonna be a lot of damage to take up. Soski, what do you think?
Yeah, that's a lot of damage. But I like how the Jazz is taking his hero potential, this Lapu Lapu to the extreme, man. Like his bravest fighter of them all is also good on taking down marksmen. Is also good on taking zoning down the enemy. Is also good on making sets for that Haitatsu. Baiting out that Purify. He's just doing an absolute wonderful job. Samson might get taken down with a shadow kill ultimate combo, but never mind. Purify has also been used from the Bunny Valentine. They are looking for the bottom inhibitor. There's quite too much resources has been used to just take down the bottom inhibitor. Yes, and that's no minion was there. Again a blunder coming from the DS. Yeah man, come on. There was no freaking minion onto the bottom lane and you were still trying to take down that inhibitor that you obviously failed to do so, but yeah, the minion will take care of the job and minion will take that. Okay, never mind. Minion will also not take that bottom lane inhibitor till now also. But you know what? Funny Valentine used Purify for just to take down that inhibitor, fails to do so because there was no minion. Tyro's taking the damage from that. Okay, never mind. We can see the Shadow Kill is onto the point, but no! Blunder after blunder. Maybe Retribution also be used. No! That was not a blunder. There will be the reinforcement coming from the DS right there. And we'll have to fall back one now. The Kayashi, the DS. 11 seconds for the next Lord. What do you think, Mikey?
Both of the team's junglers don't have the retribution right now, so I think they'll wait up a little bit for the Lord, cause right now otherwise it's gonna be too risky. If we talk about the gold lead, it's definitely on the side of Dakusena. They have that advantage. We're still in the mid game, so gold hits hard. If we were in the late game, gold wouldn't have been that much of an issue, but right now it is. And Dakusina does have the damage and durability, so that's why maybe Speculator is not trying to compete over it. The Lord was secured by Dakusina in the process. We can see Nathan has gone in with the entropy, and Lapu
Oh,
Lapu was trying to deal up a bit of damage as well. Sansin is trying to poke around, but I don't think he should be doing that because Tigreal with the implosion and flick can be unpredictable at times. And when you're a marksman, you should, keep a bit of distance. But maybe he was poking around because he has the purify on his hand. But yeah, Samsung Galaxy taking a bit of damage. So, with this Lord, what do you think Dakusena can do?
lane management should be there. I think they might be able to take a lot of objectives right there. But you know what? This boils down to which one team engages first and which engage is more successful, the counter engage or the engage. I think for the engaging part, if Jazz managed to bait out the Purify either from the Matilda or from that Sansin, I think Haitatsu will take the advantage of it because he has a flicker. Flicker is always available from all the resources are available from both sides. Now this is the final dance, and there will be the Haitatsu will be engaging the first Jazz from the backline just to take down, zoning out the Sansin, not letting Sansin give over the damage. And this is the perfectly executed time. Meanwhile, you can see Choco by take down the Funny Valentine, but Funny Valentine will fall down, but at the cost of what? At the cost of their base. The crystal is down, finally down a clean sweep coming away from the DS. And I was saying this, you know, DS could make this a clean sweep, and they did it. Peachy.
Hello, hello. Damn, what a match coming in from the side of Team Dakusena. I really liked how, the special grade did not ban the Lapu Lapu once again. They had to do it at least for Sanson. Come on, the guy was having, for Sanson, he needs that snowball. That early game, the mid game are really important to him, and you have seen how he was getting blocked time by time. Jazz also targeting the marksman time by time is just looking good for them, given the fact that he's just using up resources and the team can go in easily.
Yep, exactly. And I think, as you said, the Daku Sena, obviously, and the Daku part has been a very good part from that Jazz as well because he was just, trying to, block this Irithil just to give away the damage to any member of the side of uh, Team DS. Sorry, Team SG. Plus, the Astra recall was on point, just made them slow enough so that Jazz could catch up with the bravest fighter of them all, and Haitasu could catch up with his flicker combination with that of this implosion and the flicker combination. And also, you know, I also noticed that whenever they were using Astral Recall, Jazz was onto the backline as you mentioned to block away the Sansin, and also in the process he sometimes could also get his hands on the Sansin and could finish him off like fully by his own hands. We have seen in this game also. So I think that was a very beautiful game played by Kiyashi as well. He was just using his quad shadow very perfectly. Plus, I think he was just being, trying to, I would say, engage first in most of the team fights just to, bait out some resources with the squad shadow and the ultimate combo, shadow kill combo. And again, they were taking that much long fight that his shadow kill and ultimate combo was available when they are doing the fights. So that's something that you should, you have to look out for.
Definitely. And in a way, I feel like the Karita pick was there just for the Tigreal. I mean, they were kind of expecting it, but that every member was there. You know, the Novaria was already providing those vision, plus Tigreal scouting every single bush was proving a problem, proving an obstacle for this Karita to actually make a very good set. They try. From Untitled, it is Daki who plays Karita a lot. I mean, we have seen her play, and she
Shout out
plays.
to
Yep, she plays it for the knockup and not for the damage and all. For this was a kind of a different kind of a gameplay coming in from Chocopie. Interestingly enough, it was for the damage, but the damage wasn't there. The goal difference was just so high, and it wasn't in their favor. It really showed they should have went in for the kind of a knockup play. What do you think about that, Mikey?
I think so. I think from the side of Dakusena, they did really well. The first round was it was a 50-50 in my opinion, but the second
Mhm.
round they did great. They just went in for the win and they were successful at it. It was a spectacular match from both of the teams, but we have to go for one winner, and for this match, it was uh, Dakusena.
True. And this was it for the game series number 1. The Husseina was a special grade. It was a clean sweep. Do make sure to wait for the second match. It's going to be clocking around 9 p.m. IST. Zohunt versus team Stepbros. Interestingly enough, both of the biggest teams in the Northeast as of now. So the tension is definitely high for both of the teams. And from you, audience, as well, I want to see you guys cheering for your favorite team. So with that, let's take a short break. We'll be just getting ready to get the next teams on.
Bye bye.
ये तारा इनको बहुत ही ज्यादा दिक्कत देने वाला है। थोड़ा सा फिर से यहाँ पर लौट आएंगे, अंदर जाएंगे पॉप।
In time immemorial, the endless war destroyed the balance between yin and yang, plunging the Cadia Riverlands into chaos. As catastrophe loomed, a woman of destiny stepped forth, casting aside divinity for the plight of mortals.
Sacrifice for a fleeting moment of peace in the mortal realm. Does thine heart not regret?
To protect the realm. What is there to regret?
This day, destiny descends once more. Zutian the Ordained, of untold merit and unbound benevolence, preserver of peace and prosperity, unfaded by time. This day, let heaven and earth bear witness as the Phoenix ascends the throne. A realm united toward a new golden age.
From time forgotten to the new dawn, as long as I breathe, Shandu shall never fade!
Now you'll be the best sniper ever!
I'm sorry.
Leave me alone.
No, it's a decoy! Ever since that day, I vowed to keep you safe.
Rule with strength and conviction. Blossom with grace and compassion. My strategy spans centuries for those I silently guard. From ashes to empress, my rebirth is eternal. The phoenix reigns!
ये तारा इनको बहुत ही ज्यादा दिक्कत देने वाला है। थोड़ा सा फिर से यहाँ पर लौट आएंगे, अंदर जाएंगे पॉपअप।
In time immemorial, the endless war destroyed the balance between yin and yang, plunging the Cadia Riverlands into chaos. As catastrophe loomed, a woman of destiny stepped forth, casting aside divinity for the plight of mortals.
Sacrifice for a fleeting moment of peace in the mortal realm. Does thine heart not regret?
To protect the realm. What is there to regret?
This day, destiny descends once more. Zutian the Ordained, of untold merit and unbound benevolence, preserver of peace and prosperity, unfaded by time. This day, let heaven and earth bear witness as the Phoenix ascends the throne, a realm united toward a new golden age.
From time forgotten to the new dawn, as long as I breathe, Shandu shall never fade!
Now you'll be the best sniper ever!
I'm sorry.
Leave me alone.
No! It's a decoy! Ever since that day, I vowed to keep you safe.
Rule with strength and conviction. Blossom with grace and compassion. My strategy spans centuries for those I silently guard. From ashes to empress, my rebirth is eternal. The phoenix reigns!
ये तारा इनको बहुत ही ज्यादा दिक्कत देने वाला है। थोड़ा सा फिर से यहाँ पर लौट आएंगे, अंदर जाएंगे पॉपअप।
In time immemorial, the endless war destroyed the balance between yin and yang, plunging the Cadia Riverlands into chaos. As catastrophe loomed, a woman of destiny stepped forth, casting aside divinity for the plight of mortals.
Such sacrifice for a fleeting moment of peace in the mortal realm. Does thine heart not regret?
To protect the realm. What is there to regret?
This day, destiny descends once more. Zutian the Ordained, of untold merit and unbound benevolence, preserver of peace and prosperity, unfaded by time. This day, let heaven and earth bear witness as the Phoenix ascends the throne, a realm united toward a new golden age.
From time forgotten to the new dawn, as long as I breathe, Shandu shall never fade!
Now you'll be the best sniper ever!
I'm sorry.
Leave me alone.
No! It's a decoy! Ever since that day, I vowed to keep you safe.
Rule with strength and conviction. Blossom with grace and compassion. My strategy spans centuries, for those I silently guard. From ashes to empress, my rebirth is eternal. The Phoenix reigns!
ये तारा इनको बहुत ही ज्यादा दिक्कत देने वाला है। थोड़ा सा फिर से यहाँ पर लौट आएंगे, अंदर जाएंगे पॉपअप।
In time immemorial, the endless war destroyed the balance between yin and yang, plunging the Cadia Riverlands into chaos. As catastrophe loomed, a woman of destiny stepped forth, casting aside divinity for the plight of mortals.
sacrifice for a fleeting moment of peace in the mortal realm. Does thine heart not regret?
To protect the realm. What is there to regret?
This day, destiny descends once more. Zutian the Ordained, of untold merit and unbound benevolence, preserver of peace and prosperity, unfaded by time. This day, let heaven and earth bear witness as the phoenix ascends the throne. A realm united toward a new golden age.
From time forgotten to the new dawn. As long as I breathe, Shandu shall never fade!
Now you'll be the best sniper ever!
I'm sorry.
Leave me alone.
No, it's a decoy! Ever since that day, I vowed to keep you safe.
Rule with strength and conviction. Blossom with grace and compassion. My strategy spans centuries, for those I silently guard. From ashes to empress, my rebirth is eternal. The Phoenix reigns!
ये तारा इनको बहुत ही ज्यादा दिक्कत देने वाला है। थोड़ा सा फिर से यहाँ पर लौट आएंगे, अंदर जाएंगे पॉपअप।
In time immemorial, the endless war destroyed the balance between yin and yang, plunging the Cadia Riverlands into chaos. As catastrophe loomed, a woman of destiny stepped forth, casting aside divinity for the plight of mortals.
Sacrifice for a fleeting moment of peace in the mortal realm. Does thine heart not regret?
To protect the realm. What is there to regret?
This day, destiny descends once more. Zutian the Ordained, of untold merit and unbound benevolence, preserver of peace and prosperity, unfaded by time. This day, let heaven and earth bear witness as the phoenix ascends the throne. A realm united toward a new golden age.
From time forgotten to the new dawn, as long as I breathe, Shandu shall never fade!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Mythic Showdown. Yep, we are here again, powered by IGC Indian Gaming Corps. Here we are for the Swiss stage, another Swiss stage. And today, I want to say whoever loses will have a thumbs down because they'll be going back to their home. They can't play further in this tournament. And this is the second match. The first match won by Dakusena. That means special grade. Bye-bye. And right now, here we are for the second match. Zohunt versus Team Stepbros. One team will be saying us a bye-bye. And one team will be going into the further round. So let's see who will be having the fun tonight. BO3 series between these two teams. Casters will be joining with me. I'm the host today, as TZ. Again, back with you guys. And with me, two of the beautiful casters. On my left is none other than Asuya. On my right, it is Debbie. Hello, Debbie. How are you?
I'm feeling good. It's kind of hype up to see these two teams, right? They are gonna be very thirsty because this is an elimination round, and you do not want to see them, either of them, going down. And I feel like they are gonna be giving it all, and it's gonna be a fun match to cast.
Yep. Why not? And what about you, Asuya? How you are feeling?
Well, I'm pretty excited for tonight, especially because I have Debbie casting with me. And yeah, it's been quite some time since I've casted with her.
Yeah.
And of course, it is Zohunt and Stepbros, two of good teams, I would say, which always bring something new to the table. So let's see what they go in for today.
And me as your host as well.
You're every day. You're every day. With
Yeah,
your host easy at this point, Ash.
I thought you will not mention it, but it's okay. We'll be going into the draft soon, but before that, I want to say that Zohunt, being in the zone since they started the whole tournament, they were playing great. They were in the 2-1 bracket, but right now they're in the verge of getting knockout. Whereas Stepbros also in the verge of knockout, but they managed to pull it off when they played that last match in the 2-1 bracket. But right now, let's see how it goes. If they can manage it, if they can go for the knockout round, which is coming soon. So I mean, last more 3 days for this Swiss stage, and we'll be up for the knockout stage. So I'll be missing the Swiss stage. Obviously, it's been going on since a month, but let's see how it goes. For today match, Stepbros, Zohan, big teams, big names. But the main thing is, whenever it's Dusty Mizo's match, we find Debbie in the casting.
Hey. Nah, you don't make a controversy for yourself as well. No, it's not like that. It was bro, this STC.
I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
No, it has to be some coincidence. It's a coincidence.
Yep, I know. Okay. Okay.
Man.
You don't have to cough, Asuya. You can say if you want to say anything to Debbie.
Hey. What?
I have nothing to say. I've been
Yeah.
hearing things, but I really usually don't
No.
pay attention to rumors.
Yeah.
But then again, this one
Yeah.
thing though, which I really want to ask both of you, that since the new meta has come up, and we have known that especially some players from both the teams, they excel in playing fighters at the jungler. So, is there any transition happening in the teams or the picks with the new season which has come up?
Yep, why not? I mean, you know that right now a lot of people are going for those Lapu Lapu, Uranus picks. Even we have been seeing the Kaza into the roam, not in the Indian scenario, but in Indonesia, they even went for the Kaza jungle. That's the other thing. But they are being on to the new meta. So people, as you asked about the Indian meta, I will say mostly they are going for those EXP. They know that the EXP will be helping them a lot. But still, clinging on to Badang as well because he's doing fine. And about the jungler, you said fighter jungler, Xbog, Roger are right now into the scene. Even Fedrin is getting banned, Baksha being banned always. So it's kind of, I mean, it's getting tilted right now. The way people were picking the Suyu Hayabusa in the early phase of the season, you can say. I mean, in the previous one, but now they're tilting towards the fighters. It's a good thing. It's, I mean, MLBB is recovering, you can say. But I think it will be changing soon because I don't think the fighter meta will go on into MSC as well. There'll be some jungler, assassin jungler getting buff. Debbie, what's your thought as Asuya asked both of us?
Yeah, I think it kind of this is the most balanced meta I've ever seen in in my entire casting career because once upon a time the utility has been popular for so long. It's just the utility again, and then it become the assassins. And now that the meta has shifted, it's like both assassin is playable as well as the utility wise. It's just so situational. You have to be situational. You have to be good and amazingly perfect on your draft as well, so as to set up for an assassin or to set up for a utility. And for a utility jungle, you go for a different kind of composition, and for assassin you go for a different kind of composition. So I think it's just the heroes that are shifting, but not in the category where the assassin is much more used or the tank is much more used. So I think it's one of the most balanced one, I would say, so far.
And with this, we'll be heading into the draft phase. Zohan versus Stepbros. First banning phase has already kicked off right now. And let's see, let me guess. Maybe Badang will be the first ban, or a Kalea, or we're going to see Kimi, or maybe Lapu Lapu is also being prioritized in the first ban list. Stepbros being on. It's kind of a new Stepbros team where I can't find Ilu and all. So,
Mm.
I mean, I'm not so much into this Stepbros team as like the previous one. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, there was a time pick two plummet and step bros matches. We always get that matches. Wherever the
Yeah,
tournament may
yeah.
be, wherever they will be playing, you and me will be casting their matches. So I know this
Yeah.
guy's better than anyone. But right now, this new step bro team, new lineup, they managed to do a lot in this tournament. Won one match, but now it's time for winning this match, no matter what. So let's see how it goes for them. Abadang, obviously.
Well, definitely, Ash, crucial match for both of them since the one who loses will be out of the tournament. And of course, this is a big tournament after all. The winning teams will be going in for a regional tournament. And Madang, just like Debbie, and even you mentioned, someone who's always panned out no matter how the meta shifts. This guy with the stance or with the crowd control is a menace to deal with. And do you think, Debbie, Ash, that will we be seeing the same sort of bans in this match too?
Yeah, I think the Badang just makes sense, right? A lot of sense. But here, the Lapu Lapu banned away by Johan. They are actually the one who usually go for the Lapu onto the when they are on the blue side most of the time, even to the extent that they go for the first pick. I think with the change in the meta, like we have already mentioned, the XP has been rising quite a lot, especially Lapu Lapu in general. So I think most of the teams contest this hero a lot just because of the utility that he have onto his kit, the sustainability, the damage also, and the ability to zone out any potential threat. I think he's such a prioritized hero right now, and I think this is one of the reasons that Johan has to ban this away. They are not in the first pick. They do not have the advantage to get this Lapu Lapu but for themselves. So I think it's a very reasonable that they take it away. But this time around, there are so many choices to ban away. It's just dependent on what kind of strategy you want to go for. The Matilda gone onto the side of Step Bros when they could have first pick, because I'm sure the Matilda is still a safe first pick, but I think they do not want to give it away. And Zohan, meanwhile, they have to ban away the Baxia again.
Yep, nice ban. I mean, pretty meta bans going on. Kimi should be in the ban list as well if you don't want to hinder you out for yourself because it's something. He's a flex right now. She's a big flex. She can go for the mid. She can go for the goal, and it makes so much confusion. But as I said before, Pedro and Bakshia, both of them are right now more in the ban list than in the pick list. So we're gonna see the
Yeah.
Pedrin ban coming on from Step Bros. Last ban in the first banning phase. Zohan maybe try to ban that Kimi out from this match, or maybe a Jukshin be the one to be in the
Oh.
ban list, or a Forsta can come in. What are your thoughts on it? I mean, Asuya, you know that a lot of mid laners are not right now there in the game. It's like Forza, Selena, Novaria. These guys are, I
Yeah.
mean, getting round up. So banning 1-2 mages are literally giving a chance to, I mean, have that mid gap for the opponent side. What do you feel?
Well, definitely that happens, but then there are, it actually highly depends on what kind of team composition you're going in for. If there are a lot of backliners with a lot of distance, maybe something like a Granger or a
Mhm.
Selena, there can always be a Farsa who manages to just bombard them down right from the early. She's a great pick. Selena, of course, the way she zones people away, she's a great pick. So the mage pick still, I believe, is highly dependent on the rest of the team. Like if you're gonna go in for an early snowball type of composition, or if you go in for a mid to late kind of transition. So right now, maybe picking up those EXP laners can be the ones who make the difference.
Yep.
Let's see
Understandable.
you. Yep.
Uranus first pick for the side of Step Bros. I think Uranus has such a good, a way to try to annoy your opponent most of the time because of the clearance that he have and the damage dealt also. But first pick wise, I think it's a very counterable hero too. What will Johan go for? Because there are so many options that they can go. They usually love to go for the first into the first phase, but I'm not sure. Do you really want to go the first when there is a Uranus already? And there are many choices for the XP lane to be up here again. But to go against the Uranus, I think what are the options though? Should they go for the mage here or just direct carry? Okay, there we
Boom.
go. Oh, a comfort pick
Harriet.
for both of the two players.
Yep. Prime going with a Harriet. And there you go. Faden with the, I mean, Fossa.
First,
It will be fun. Really fun now. Because Burst, as well as a little bit of magical poke, you can say. Not a poke, actually. Magical poke from Harriet. But
mm-hmm.
it's something that Asuya believes that Harriet has got enough. He's not
Yeah,
having that much damage right now in the early game, and even his range is being little bit low. Cooldown is also being hampered with the new nerf. So I'm not sure how it goes for the goal lane, because if they go for Beatrix or something like Moscow, it can easily counter the Harriet. As contrary, people will thought that no, Beatrix will not work. Yes, guys, it was not working when the Harith was in the buff list, but now he's in the enough. Beatrix can easily outplay him in the late game. So if they go with the Beatrix, it can counter him up easily with the, I mean, with the mobility he has with the Diamond Pool. And right now, no, we're gonna see a Kufra coming on with the Hayabusa. That means they're
oh,
ready for the mobility jungle.
Well, really interesting picks coming from the side of Team Stepbros, especially the Kufra. First of all, I think he's a great tank, especially if you want to
mm,
defuse something like Lancelot, which is dealing a lot of damage nowadays, can go behind the scenes, behind for the backlines. And yes, of course, he is a perfect counter for the Harriet, can stop his dashes. But then I think ever since that, the with the nerfs for the crowd control came in, and Kufra's second skill, the knockups, they are kind of short time. So I personally feel that using this hero has become much more hard because it requires a lot of skills, a lot of setups, and you especially need something, a good EXP laner who can bait people and put them in position. So a great tank, but then again, high risk, high reward.
yeah, high risk, high reward is the answer for this kind of lineup that Step Bros are already going for. But Joan, interestingly, they pick away the Suyo, which has kind of lost its popularity this time around because of the nerf that he received. He's so weak against those high bursty mages. But interesting bans coming from the front side of there was I would like to say that this is a respect ban for Mr. Win here because Masa is I think he's the only one who used the Masa here in this tournament. So I think they have to take it away because it can be a threat for the Hayabusa too. But the Fouriers always has to go man. The Fouriers into the second phase ban, it's always there even though Dark himself can play it because he's so good on the forest too, but he does have the Uranus on his side. But right now for Zohan though, They ban. I fully understand why they usually go ban the Kadita when they have a Farsa, because the Kadita does really good against the Farsa. It just give the Farsa a run for the money most of the time, because it's like a semi assassin who always dive into the backline, and you do not really want that when you play the Farsa. He already got enough on his plate because the Stepbros side, they pick away the Hayabusa already, and he's always gonna be diving in. But a family problem though, he wanna go for the Hilda, so early game momentum. I think Johan, they wanna play aggressive right here.
Yep, obviously. I mean, going with the Hilda is to counter the Hayabusa for real, and they can go with the Hylos right now again if they wants to counter it
Oh,
again and again. So it could be a potential pick for them.
oh,
Oh, I'm going to see a
oh, it was.
Roger against the goal lane and a
Beautiful.
Sicilian to be back into the game after, I think, an eternity, because I haven't seen Sicilian for long days after the nerf he got.
Yeah.
Glue. That means
Oh,
Hilda going to Rome. That's cool.
yeah.
This is cool. Hilda is going for a Rome, and Glue will be in the EXP against a Uranus.
Oh,
This is
okay.
really cool. I mean, Hilda, Rome, two things I'm gonna see after an eternity is a Hilda Rome and a Sicilian mid. It will be a fun thing, but what do you think, Asuya? Rather than going for the Suyu pick, I mean, we all know that Dusty doesn't go for this assassin picks. They couldn't have been track it down. Could have gone with the Phobius at that moment. Phobius had it. Combo works great.
Mm,
Well, could
they
have
ban.
been highly possible. And this is the thing which I said right in the beginning, that especially Dusty, he's known for his fighter junglers, especially like
Mm,
Mortis. So, would he be going in for a fighter pick or an assassin pick? But right now, both the drafts are set in motion. And as just like you said, I think it highly depends on the execution. So right now, I would like to, just thank Ash for being with us for the draft phase. Right now, Debbie, what do you think of the drafts as they're finally being finalized from both the sides?
I think the lack of CCs coming out from the side of Johan just really mean that they do not want to stay in the team fights. They wanna more rely more on the pick-off. And Stepbros, they have a lineup which is, kind of scaling into the later part of this game. They wanna go to the late games as fast as possible, as much as possible, because they have a Sicilian on their side too. But with the last bit of the glue for the side of Johan means that they do not really want to lose on the lane against the Uranus, but they do not also want him to give the pressure onto the other lanes as well. They want him to be imprisoned into the lane. And look at that interesting so far onto the bot though. Red buff side though, we can see family problem being the nuisance that he is onto the Hilda.
Well, definitely, and just like you mentioned, the EXP, just look at them, the way they're fighting it out. Both of them having a lot of utility into the kits for the early. One can heal, the other can spam. So, bit okay. Well, meanwhile,
Oh,
just there, it will be the first blood as Hilda will be taken down. That was too much of an engagement considering that the jungler wasn't there.
they could have, a little bit of a miscommunication right there too, but it's still a Hilda, right? But the fact that he gave away a kill onto the hands of Kelly onto the Hayabusa, it's not the really best thing that they could go so far. And one thing I'm sure is that,
Okay, we
Kelly
already.
though. Oh,
Okay,
alright.
the
I was going for
flickers
a sub
coming
team
in from
with.
the Kufra.
Mhm.
Yep, and there we already see the aggressiveness coming in. Kakashi using up that ultimate already in a pretty low HP, and Dusty Mizo will be securing that kill onto the Hayabusa. The first kill of the game, the turtle, will be easy for the side of Team Zohunt as Hayabusa isn't there anymore. Meanwhile, the skirmish in the XP lane already starting up, then following them behind, trying to take Uranus down, but it will not be enough. He's just backing off into the turret for now.
Yep, that's a little bit of a comeback coming out from the side of Johan. Both the jungles already on 1 kills for both of them. Meanwhile, Johan does get the turtle. I think they're gonna be having a little bit of a goalie onto the side, but it's still catchable. It's a for the side of Stepbros, they will be able to get that. And I can finally see the Kufra, changing his name to a more unpronounceable one. Last time his name was like STRFR or something like that. There's no vowels, and we weren't able to pronounce it well. But look at the stun though.
Okay, the artillery coming in on a beautiful ult coming from side of Kufra. The rest of the team going in for the engages. The bird has flown away with the passive. She's safe for now, but all the way from the top, Glue trying to make some waves. And the ultimate from Kakashi coming in. And Dusty Mizo will be taken down. And Kelly still in a really low HP. Manages to go down. Hilda meanwhile coming in. Manages that. Okay, that passive stuck inside the turret. Oh my god, a major mistake and easy escape for Hayabusa. Oh my god.
Family problem, man. I think you gotta change up your settings. But yeah, okay, that was a clippable movement too. It's funny. But okay, damage. Ooh.
That was a beautiful engage coming in, but well, Sicilian will manage to go away. Meanwhile, both of the teams they look really energetic, Debbie. I mean, just look at the engages coming in. The rotations are also pretty cool.
Yeah, they are just trying to fight all and all out. But most of the time, I think Stepbros, if they come down to the damages, I think they might be able to, not the damages, but the card control, they might be able to win the team fights as fast as possible. But Zohunt, though, they need to be careful. But look at that jump.
Rust goes in, followed by the rest of the team. Harrod facing a tight situation and really low HP. Zaman, of course, will not be able to save him up as he will be taken down. And meanwhile, the blue will be traded off as the gold is also taken. Okay, Farsa using up that passive and stun, trying to bombard down the Sicilian, but it's to no avail. The next turtle of the game, the teams are still looking for the dance, looking for some engagements. Farsa's ultimate isn't there. The rest of the team look at the glue, trying to provide vision, trying to zone them away. Same goes for the Uranus. All the teams gathering up, but I think it will be an easy secure for the turtle for Dusty Mizo. And with this Zohunt as well as Stepbros with an equal goal lead. Meanwhile, Hilda being the absolute menace, trying to dissuade the farm as she should. The rest of the team following up. Sandwich Claus not actually connecting, and family problem manages to go away, but they're still looking for some engages, some aggressiveness in the bot lane.
I think one thing that's going to be important for the side of Zohunt to do against Stepbros is that they really, really need to focus on Nico's Queen right now, because a Cecilia not dying under 5 minutes of this game is something that you do not want to see, because he's going to be sticking up to the full extent, and he was able to position himself so well that most of the time, even if Aiden was using his ultimate to try to get him down, he does have the flicker available most of the time, and then the positioning is so well that he hasn't been falling down as well. So this is something that Stepbros might eventually capitalize on, because he's gonna be stacking up quite a lot. But Dark and okay, top lane also, they're just trying to clear up the jungles that they usually do, but we might see a engage bot lane.
Okay, the Zaman force, the damage from Harrod is pretty much family problem goes in. One behind the scenes for the damage for him is too much to soak up the artillery from Farsa. The follow-up is pretty good right at the stance connecting in. Glue right behind the scenes trying to take down the Farsa, manages to grab onto them. Will it be a kill as Kufra still decides to jump inside the turret. He is in pretty low HP. It will be a 1-for-1 trade as both of them will be going down. Meanwhile, near the turret, Prime tries to take down the turret. Dark is there for the defense. The Farsa from behind the scenes, and just look at the top lane, the way it was traded off by Dusty Mizo. The macros coming in from both the sides is pretty good, and the Farsa trying to just use that passive onto the Hayabusa, doesn't manage to, so for now they will be disengaging.
Yeah, the bot lane might totally be for the focus for Stepbros though, but Zohunt, I think they are reading this out. They're just trying to defend onto the bot lane, but look at the damage coming through. Family problems. Onto Dark, I don't think he's gonna be dealing that much of a damage onto this Uranus, man. He's not dying no more.
Well, definitely. 1 versus 4, they're trying to zone them away. The third turtle of the game in the hands of Team Stepbros might look for some engages right there as Glue goes in with his ultimate, grabs onto someone. The Farsa as well as the Harrod coming in. The Zaman force, but it will be delayed as there is always the ball right there. Meanwhile, Win will be taken down, and behind the scenes we do see Uranus doing an amazing job taking down that Farsa. A 1-for-1 trade for both the sides. Might still look in for some aggressiveness as family problem being the absolute problem, sticking around to everyone.
Oh man, I think this is actually dire for Zohunt, because when you see this kind of lineup onto the opponents that you do not really want to give them away or equalize onto the goal to, you just want to be ahead as much as possible. But the thing is, they can't be ahead when they have this rolling ball all over the map, because Rust so amazing on his position as well. Most of the time when you see Prime trying to get an engage, trying to get a damage, it's always the ball that's always stopping him. And we cannot forget this Dark always diving into the backline, being such a nuisance first, and there's no much damage coming out from the side of Zohunt that is enough to take him down. And I think the only source of the damage that they need is gonna have to be Prime, and he's gonna be needing the Stardom side too, or even the Wishing Lantern on top of that to try to take this Uranus down. But that's too expensive and too long, and they can't. I don't think they will be able to do this anything to Uranus into the mid part of this game, and that's gonna be frustrating also. And the one thing, the downside of their lineup is actually that they do not have a crowd control too. So when they want to stay in the team fight, I think Stepbros will always be winning the team fights, man.
Well, definitely. And with that, both the teams still looking for some engages. And just like you mentioned, Debbie, the EXP laner is actually making a major difference right at the Sandwich Blast connecting on to Win. Win will be taking down a major setback for them. The ult from the Parsa manages to stun down the Uranus. Will be taking down this damage from Prime as the Salmon Force. But look at ult coming in from Cupra. A last play right there for them. But yet, it is a 2-for-2 trade. They're still looking for exchanges. Family probably really low HP. But Roger just decides to back off as he will be securing the lead for now. But that was a great ultimate coming from both the sides, especially the Cupra.
Yeah, that was a great turn off. Even he does have the flicker and the tyrants rate perfectly on the perfect members as well. And I think this is the reason why I do not like the team fights coming out from Zohunt, because Stepbros are always going to be winning. And now the lore is already up, and both of the teams are trying to consider if they are going to be taking these or not, because it's going to be very crucial for both of them. They are so equal onto the goal most of the time. But look at that, family problem.
Going in once again, meanwhile behind the scenes, Farsoft manages to flicker away from Kakashi's ult, and it will be family problem. Will be taken down. Dark in a really low HP, and he's been grabbed on, but will be taken down by Win. A major exchange, a trade right there, right before the Lord. Meanwhile, Farsa trying to lock down onto Rust because, of course, he is being a problem right there. But 4 versus 4, looking for the dance. The Lord is already being started from the side of Team Zohunt, and Win doing an amazing job trying to just zone them away. He just looking for some engages right there. Mizo also into the scene, Prime dishing some damage right there, and it will be Roger who will be taken down. Next on the chopping block will be Rust as he is in pretty low HP. 2 members down right there. Farsa's ultimate for the backup, and Hayabusa has nothing else, just trying to dash away with those Patay ultimate coming in, trying to secure something behind the scenes. And Dusty Mizo, oh my god, manages to escape in 1 HP as he flickers away with the immunity he does have. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, just look at Win, the way he is just zoning them away. Farsa with the follow-up, just take down Sicilian, winning a really low HP, and just gets that ult back in the nick of time. And hence, it is a, complete victory for the side of Team Zohan.
Yeah, that was a long team fight we are seeing right there, and it was so long that Win was able to, hold his HP. But look at the damage though, mid lane.
Oh my god, they're still looking for the clear outs, but yes, maybe just keep engaging for now, Debbie.
Yeah, I thought there was a little bit of a fight going on, but Prime onto the Harriet already gotten the Holy Crystal, so this guy is gonna be going rampant against the members of the side of Stepbros, but we'll never know because there's always gonna be the bouncing ball, it's gonna be stopping him, he's gonna have to be decisive, and so far the game has been going 50-50, even when there's a trade, there's a little bit of compensation, and one thing I'm really, really worried about is that Nicholas Queen, he's gonna be staking quite a lot, even the one that's, I think he have a very, very good KDA onto his side as well, but top lane, the Lord will be there to help them secure that turret, and I think they're just getting 2 turrets onto the bot lane as well.
I mean, definitely, but just look at Win. He's such an absolute menace, just grabbing onto anyone they want. Meanwhile, Dusty versus our ASAP, and ASAP will be the victorious as he will be taking him down. Meanwhile, the Lord has been melted down. The rest of the team looking for some exchanges. A 5 versus 3 for them. 2 members down from the side of Team Zohunt. I think it should have waited for the Lord. Maybe, just managing those lanes better could have rewarded them more.
One thing I noticed for the Stepbros is that they have the Kova was and they have a distractor for the Uranus. So this is the reason why he's able to have a lot of sets, a lot of fights though.
Okay, 2 stuns connecting onto Dark, still managed to go behind the scene. The ult from Hayabusa actually hurting, but meanwhile the stuns, and Farsa will be grabbing onto that kill onto our Kakashi. And with that, just look at the Uranus, the way he is behind the scenes, taking down the Farsa, zoning her away, and with the Stepbros forcing them back. And Family Problem will be next on the chopping block. Dark in a really low HP. Prime doesn't have the ultimate ready yet, and Stepbros using up everything they have for now, trying to go back. The stun from Dusty Mizo connecting in. Prime Sam is coming in, and Rust will be taken down. A pretty good engage right there. But then again, the macro, which was in the hands of Team Zohunt, suddenly shifted in the hands of Team Stepbros.
I think Step Bros they do really understand who's each of their targets is gonna be, because most of the time you're gonna be seeing Russ targeting on Prime most of the time with the bouncing ball, and always the Uranus, Mr. Dark here getting his eyes, keeping his eyes on the first Faden most of the time. And I don't think that's I think that's the reason why there's not much of a damage coming through from the first most of the time, because he's unable to use his feather airstrike properly, because there's always a mosquito flying around him and eventually killing him, biting him down. And I think that has to, that's the downside of this kind of competition they made right there. They do have a lot of frontliners that can go for the damage, but they do not have a protector for the backlines.
Okay, definitely. Because, that's the issue with standalone mages like Farsa. Even the Eve can be distracted, can be stunned, can be suppressed pretty easily. So, an easy target for them. And meanwhile, the next Lord of the game just coming up for the team looking for some engages. Dark as well as UN being the perfect EXP laners, zoning away both the mages. So, both the mages actually facing a pretty hard time. One more thing, if Rust goes down in those team fights, it's an absolute win for Zohan, I think, because the issue is that Rust is actually being a really important bone of contention right there for all of them. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, Family Problem once again looking for taking something right there, but the ultimate from the Hayabusa gets shared between them, and ASAP will be taken down. Oh my god, a very bad loss right before the Lord coming up. And with this, what do you think, Debbie?
Oh man, that was such a good setup for a Family Problem, but he does have the recall, but they cannot blitz down the Lord either way. They have to wait for the healer to come onto the picture as well. But look at Dark though. He's just being a menace. Not even his HP hasn't been chunked down, but look at the turrets, Rust.
Okay, the ultimate is Tyrant's Revenge coming in, but it's only on the Family Problem. Farsa's ultimate actually zoning them away pretty hard. Dark in the really low HP manages to go behind the scene win. Meanwhile, at the same time, in the top, we have the Lord secured by the side of Team Zohan, and with that, a 4 versus 4 coming in, everyone in pretty low HP, but the rest of them looking to go back, looking to defend, as that was a successful team fight for Zohan.
Oh my goodness, that was a good one right that they have, and I think this is gonna be winning them a lot of turrets. Meanwhile, Johan, they have a lot of turrets still alive and healthy for them. Step Bros, they are only left with the inhibitors, and I think this is such a good decision, objective, minded gameplay coming out from Johan, because with just one lot they were able to get down the second tier turrets, and I think this is gonna be one important lot they have so far. And 14 to 14 onto the scoreboard doesn't mean that you're always gonna be equal. Right now, Step Bros are into the back foot. Look at the damage though. Family Problem, man. He's just trying to give away vision most of the time, and I don't even think it's gonna be dead just yet. But Russ,
Okay, Rust is charging up, looking for some plays right there, but look at the damage coming in from Farsa, and it is Win in a very low HP. Meanwhile, it will be a trade-off as Georgia will also be taking down Family Problem, also diving right behind the second on the chopping block. Meanwhile, look from behind the scene, it will be Dusty Weasel will be taking down Hayabusa. All the three inhibitors going down. The Lotus HP is remaining, will be easily to melt down, but Prime's damage is coming in. The brutal force has been locked up down onto the face, and the first match will belong to Team Zohunt.
wow, what a good gameplay coming out from the side of Johan. I actually thought that them losing out their crucial setter members, the damage circle, was actually a throw, but I don't think it was. Right, Ash? Are you back? He's dead. I'm joking. He's not.
Ash is dead. Well, we'll wait for him to come back. Ash, just do say our
Alright,
thing.
yeah. Sorry, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Traffic is it,
So,
bro?
I mean, yeah, I'm very sad with the defeat, but what do you feel? I mean, the win was literally fulsome or not from the side?
Well,
I
definitely, just like Debbie was saying, that the XP laners were actually, being the bone of contention from both the sides. A win doing a great job, and of course, or Dark also doing an amazing job. But at the end, it comes like if you did see that how good Rust as well as Dusty Mizo were playing, they knew the objectives and they knew whom to prioritize, Debbie.
Mm. Yeah, actually, if we talk about the game style, I think Step Bros, they really, really knew who their target was gonna be. They know that who they should be focusing on onto their particular hero as well, and most of the time they did it right. But one downside of their game style is that they do not give any chance for their roster to farm up, and I am not and still isn't a big fan of Rosa into the gold lane this meta because he's more compatible to be going into the jungle because he just want to go around the map try to get a snowball. You do not want him to be stuck in the gold lane because yeah, a little bit of effort to the gold lane as well. It's just not giving the required amount of gold that you need. Meanwhile, for the side of Johan, they have a scaling hero. The hero is even with the nerf onto the Starlim sides. I think he still works when you are snowballing, when you are having free farm, and that's exactly what Prime was having.
Yep, and this is why I know that they there was a time when the mid game, if you will talk, the Stepbros was doing great. They managed to defend a lot. Even they managed to take out the first sub, but then you saw the Zohunt coming back, clinging upon them, getting out those turrets and taking on the match. What they do always. So it's like what Debbie said, kind of the goal lane Roger. They managed to help that Roger a lot. And if you want to see the first gank onto the Harith, but they didn't want the trade at that time. I mean, Suyu winning the blue buff, going for the turtle, taking out the objectives, while you are just taking on Harith, not even the turret. So that's the main reason. I mean, they couldn't channelize the lane properly, lane management, the minions. That's the main reason they just lost the first set. It's okay, it's a bait set. But the second one will not be a bait because if you will lose this, you'll be going to home. If Zohan winning this, they'll be taking on the victory and they will be moving forward towards the next phase of the tournament. That is the knockout stage, obviously. Let's see how it goes. The first ban again coming onto the Zohan. This time maybe we're gonna see another Badang ban, but from Zohan. Or maybe Lapu Lapu as be in the list, but Debbie said Zohan go for Lapu Lapu first pick when they are in the blue side. What do you feel, Aswia?
Well, might be a Badang, might be a Lapu Lapu, or they might even open out something just because since they do have the first pick this time. So, just baiting the other team can be a possible thing for them. And it will be a Uranus. Well, I think Uranus did
Yeah,
perform pretty well in the previous game, so they're just banning him out in this game.
it's kind of understandable, right? Because Uranus was doing such a good job and trying to get into the backlines against the damage dealer, and I think Faden might actually be crying right there. But the thing is, Stepbros also know that Johan does prioritize the Lapu Lapu quite a lot, so they are gonna be banning it away. So this meta is so focused on the XP laners that I'm actually emotional. Like, I'm not emotional, but the thing is, it's always the mates, right? It was always the mates or the jungle that used to be banned away most of the time. But now we're seeing the XP laners. Look at that. The top ban is also the Phobius, and one thing for sure is that Dark is so comfortable onto this Phobius. So I think this is also the reason why they have to take it away. And I won't be surprised if we see another XP ban here. Oh, there we go. The Badang. Still a flex, but it can also go into the XP, right? So 4 XP ban supposedly.
Yep, and this Phobius ban, maybe another Harith pick coming from Prime again because he doesn't want that counter to come on. Or maybe the reason of Phobius ban is they're gonna pick a first Bakshia or something like that. It doesn't want to give that Phobius to the side of Step Bros because if
Oh.
they will have the Phobius, their team fight will be a little bit stronger because we all know that Phobius can disrupt the backline as well as the sustain front one. So it's a good thing that they banned that Phobius as well as the Kalea. Okay. I mean, again, maybe again, Dusty wants to go for Assassin Jungle. Therefore, he's taking out these heroes. What if we're gonna see a Hayabusa ban or a Suyu ban from Stepbros?
Well, highly possible because Kalia is there for the pick off, and of course, Phoebe scales with the more dash heroes are there. But then Even in the previous game, I think Stepbros were actually doing fine. But
Mm,
against a Harriet, I don't think
yeah.
Roger was a good pick. Maybe
Mm,
going in for Granger could have been a
mm,
better option because he directly counters a Harriet. And even
yeah.
though Harriet didn't, just like we saw, that Stepbros were actually doing pretty good in the early, so Harriet didn't have enough farm. It was those small crucial mistakes which Stepbros did, and they kind of threw two in one of the
Yeah.
fights right there. And since then, it was, a win for Zohunt. They got all the lead which they needed. So Stepbros needs to make sure that this time picking up something which counters the draft from the side of Zohan can be better, not anything like Roger. And I think even the mage pick, Sicilian, couldn't have done much there, considering there was a Hilda who can literally
Mm,
stick to you, and there was also a Suya who has so many dashes to reach out to you.
yeah. And I think it's just funny to see that Johan, they are a team that's a chaotic composition where they want to go for the pick off most of the time, and they have been consistently banning out the Kalea. So maybe they do not really want to play the Kalea or something like that. But then for the Boxer being open, Johan has to directly go for the Boxer, but then again, the Boxer is easily countered lately by the newly buffed Xbox, so it appears onto the side of Stepbros as well as a deny pick for Faden here. The first are already going into the hands of Nicholas Queenman. This guy is he's so flexible onto his heroes or whatever heroes he's picking, he is able to utilize it so well. So I do not I think that this Versa pick very early is still valid because I don't really think Johan will go for the Hayabusa, no?
Yeah, but
Um,
I feel like they may can go for that because you know what? Bakshia can go for the roam as well. And that's the biggest
Yeah.
gamble they will play right now against the Stepbros.
oh,
I was hoping you know what? I was hoping Paramis here so that they can have a heal. They're going for
Mm.
the Valentina. That's a cool move, I can say. Last Insanity or Feather X Strike. Or maybe something else is coming on as well for the Valentina. But Moscow to the Prime is a great pick, I can say. But what if the counter will be Irithel coming out from Stebros? We will see. But now the Bakshia being into the jungle or to the roam or to the EXP is the biggest question, even though the Xbox can manage the EXP nowadays as well.
Oh,
Can we?
well,
true damage.
I was just going to say this sad, just when Debbie said that Boksha is easily counterable, and one of the best
Mm.
thing to just pick up is Gary right away. She can melt this guy down. Then he can't stand a chance. I have been like I play Moksha and I have faced against this carry. If no one
Yeah.
marks down this marksman, and if she plays pretty well with the positioning, which I think she will be having pretty much since there is the Farsa for the zoning, there is also the Xbox right now. So there is kind of a room which Carrie has, even though her distance, her range is less than the Moscow, and yet so Step Bros need to make sure right now that Carrie gets the farm, she gets the space to use up those attacks, because if she gets whatever she wants, it will be an absolute massacre from Step Bros to Zohunt.
Yep. This is very interesting to say the least because early already, I think several know that maybe Johan might not really go for the assassin, or like I think it's a very assassinable composition that are going here. But of course, you're gonna be having the ban out onto the Marsha because you do not really want to give the the win the Masa man. He's just gonna get on the roll with his hero too, and they have squishy backliners like the carry as well as the Farsa. But the thing I kind of am skeptical about the Moscow pick is that they do already have the Farsa under the hands of Stebro, so the Farsa kind of does well against any low range marksmen, and it is the Moscow. But the thing about Prime is that he's so comfortable on these heroes. However late the game goes, he's gonna be doing more and more. So I think that has to be they it has to be a reason why they are reliant on this Muscov as well and picking up to the first phase two. Very understandable. But right now, Step Bros, they do need to pick up their roam or XP, right? Because I think that the Xbox is still a flex, so it's kind of they're still flexing where it's gonna be going. I think it has to go into the jungle because yeah, there we go. The a big ultimate given away again the Gatot Guts are coming into play for Stepbros.
Yes, and there you go. The second phase already kicking on, and it will be a Florin and Rafaela ban, as you said. Baksha being there, support will be taken out. Obviously, it will be helping them a lot. I feel like this Baksha is going for the roam. We'll be seeing a jungle here, assassin jungle for this Xbox. Maybe a Suyu coming again, or a Lucas will be also going great now because at this particular draft, Lucas will work great. No,
What?
Baksha will be going for okay, okay.
Kadita roam?
That means, I mean, this is kind of cooked. I mean, what is happening? The Valentina EXP,
EXP
Khalid to the roam,
Valentina.
Oh,
Kadita onto the mid, and the Baksha to the jungle. This is cool. EXP
You know,
Valentina against the
wait.
Gatot Kacha. That's really
Um,
cool, but how it works, I'm not sure.
I
well,
mean, Family
yeah,
Problem once went for the Valentina room before, though. I don't know it.
well,
Okay, let's
it's
see.
she's
Let's
so
see. Let's go.
flexible. She just fits anywhere, Debbie. Yes, but
Huh?
right now, what I think, if you look at both the drafts, that
Mm.
what I was saying that Gary really needs some space. But right now,
Yeah,
Albert
yeah.
or look at Otkaja, he will be diving in, and
Mm.
Terizla will also be diving in. Exborg will also be diving in, and then there is Gary who will be left in the middle because Farsa will be far behind. So I think right
Mm.
now Carrie is really vulnerable, especially considering the flicker and ultimate combo coming from the Khalid, and she also needs to be wary from the combos of Karita. Like she's been buffed and she's actually pretty, you don't even need the petrify anymore to just land
Mm.
those hits. And when
Yeah.
Farsa uses up that ult, so Karita will make sure that she's hiding nearby somewhere, taking her down, just bursting her down. So right now Zohan has absolutely, the draft has been countered pretty hard to them. Now it's the same question again, Devi, that how
Mm.
is Carrie supposed to sustain in this team comp?
Yeah, you wanna constantly have the free hits, right? To be able to become the shredder that your team is setting you up for. So I think I get where you're skeptical about, and I don't really have an answer for this. I mean, I don't really see an answer for that. Only reason they will be able to survive is if Carrie here have an impeccable positioning. But the thing is, there's a lot of dive coming out from Johan, like you mentioned, and if push come to shove, even the Moskov is gonna be using the Spear
Mm-hmm.
of Destruction to try to dive in into you as well. And of course, there's always the pressure coming out from Ekandita. Already the chains up with the speed also. I think this hero has been underrated for so long that nobody picks it up. But it's also so good against a hero like the carry any marksman, I would say, who does have the pet purify, but the purify cooldown is very long, and you can have the time to utilize it well. And it's also a very very great counter for a hero like the Farsa.
But I feel like this is a Step Bros draft. They're gonna take this match on. We'll be witnessing a third match in this BO3 series, and it will be a great match. The tie-breaking match will be a great one because I feel like Kadita onto the mid. Yep, early game works. Late game doesn't feel good because if the Forza will be having a purify or carry, maybe with the flicker, they can easily, I mean, outplay her even though she's having a petri. So let's see how it goes. But I'm damn sure I'm kind of feeling that, not damn sure. I'm kind of feeling like Step Bros draft is on. They are having their draft. Unless that Terizla onto the EXP is a kind of a bit question against Valentina. Let's see how it goes. But here we are into the Land of Dawn for the second set between the BO3 series happening right now onto side Zohan versus Team Step Bros. I think we'll be taking on the game. Casters, please take on the match.
Okay, the first turtle already being grabbed away by Zohan and them looking to force it behind once again, and the early is not looking good for Step Rose as the crowd controls and the mobility in the hands of Zohan is absolutely menacing. Okay, Exborg, I think something happened. Maybe he was because he wasn't there for the buff or anything. But right now, Debbie, this is what we say. Khalid, even though he got nerfed, he has the mobility, he has the flicker, he has so much time in. So what can Stepbros do?
I don't think they will be able to catch up to the rotation that the Khalid is going to be making because the passive is just going to be raising all over the map. And even the veteran the clearance of the Teresa already, he's just so slow in comparison to the Khalid. But mid side though, there was a damage going on, and Nico's game already falling down once. I think it has to be into the hands of the Stimizo right there. And yeah, we are actually right. Valentina into the hands of family problem. He did use it once, it worked out, and there's a lot of options for him to go for the ultimates. But Dark,
Okay, Dark, in a dicey position. The artillery has been fired. The UTC grabbing onto two people. The taunt connecting in. A beautiful engage. The SOD also coming in. Will Moskov join up? And the ultimate's been used up. Win will be next on the chopping block. Moskov decides not to enter.
oh,
And look at that combo coming in. It will be a double kill for the Kadeta. Oh my god, I love this mage. She's so hard to
yeah.
grab. And her burst is amazing right from the early.
Yeah, you just blink and you die, right? That's the very reason why he's just not joining the team fights early enough and waiting for the right timing to dive in. Faden was the first able to get two important kills on his hands, and this time around, this is gonna be this time around he's gonna have to play like more aggressive than he did onto the first one because this is the Kadita we are talking about, and he's gonna be having a lot of way to survive and a lot of way to move all over the map. But the window is just rotating up on top very early on.
Carry, facing an issue right there. The ultimate from
Oh,
Faden once again takes her down. Oh my god, the damage is too much from Kadeta right from the beginning. Turtle also in the hands of Team Zohan, looking for another grab as Dark in a really low HP. He tries to set up some penalty zone, flickers away, it's really low HP. Ras trying to taunt them away, but that was too much of it. Valentina just using up that ultimate from the expert. Ras in a pretty low HP. Meanwhile, Zohan forcing it through aggressive. The flicker from Family Problem tries to take down, but the bait from the Gatot Kacha, he did have a revitalize which he did not use, and with this, Family Problem will be paying, but at what cost? It's everything. The gold and everything is still in the hands of Team Zohan. Winning a really low HP manages to use up that heal, but he will not be safe as it will be disrupted by the Xbox who pulls him away from the safety, from the embrace of the sand.
that was such an amazing ultimate coming out from such a good synergy coming out from the jungle. Nicole Scream as well as the expert right there, Kelly. I think I saw that this guy, he's such an amazing assassin user, but he still shines so brightly onto this fighter as well. And this time around, a lot of damage is coming through for both of these teams. The early game is already aggressive. Even the side of Stepbros, they were being so aggressive because they have a lineup which try to go for team fights most of the time because they have setups with the Teresa as well as the Gacha. But then again, for Johan, they do have a lot more damage into the early game in comparison to Stepbros. So maybe that's also the reason why we're seeing a lot of brawl into the 5 minutes of this game.
Well, definitely, Debbie, because also if you do see the side of Team Stepbros, they have all of the damage just around two heroes. That is the Farsa as well as the carry. But both of them are being shut down. Like they don't have the space, just like I mentioned before. Like there's so much mobility, so much damage in the hands of Team Zohan now. Like even if Garukacha manages to grab onto someone, where Karita just have literally like she can just go underwater and she's immune. And there's also our Valentina, she has a lot of dashes. Same goes for the rest of the team. They're so hard to catch, and if they're not being taken down, the main damage dealers, how is Stepbros even supposed to do anything? They can't even save their own damage dealers, so situation is really dicey for them, and maybe just holding it out to a late game can do something favorable for them.
Yeah, I think both of these teams, they are so high on pressure with the picks that they already did, and this is why I kind of love the draft going out from Johan as well because they are so aggressive in their game style into the early part of this game, and most of the time you do not really see a lot of rotations coming through from Win when he's on different heroes. But this time around he is on the Khalid, right? So he's always rotating up on top most of the time, and I can see the slower rotation coming out from Dark just because of the hero. This guy is a fast on rotation as well, but onto the Teresa you are not that fast in comparison to the Khalid who does have a way to surf around the map. And that also give a leeway for Johan to try and go for team fights most of the time. And like you mentioned, Carrie is always in a vulnerable position. There's always a dive. Even a win from downtown comes up to the top trying to get a kill on Carrie, and there is like a Dita always diving in onto with the rough waves, just trying to kill onto you as well. So I think um even if that I don't think there's a way for Stepbros to have the chance to store up their goal because their win condition has to be the carry for the late game. But when he when he's hunted down like this, he's not having the best time of his life, and it's gonna be a real challenge to try to go for the late game too.
Well, yep, definitely. And with Valentina, she must be the happiest person right now because all like she has 4 ultimates she can copy.
Yeah.
She's in the zone. Like family problem is really happy. Meanwhile, Kadita in between a lot of people and Rust looking for the taunts, but of course it is a Kadita, really, really hard to catch mage. And the macro in the hands of Team Zohunt, one turret already taken away from the top lane. They're looking for some exchanges. Dark in the front, trying to provide some vision.
Yeah, and I think he's just the only one to try to do it as well. And a rotation up the bot lane though.
There comes the engage. The element from family problem actually zones them hard. Dusty in a tight situation, Dark in the front line, followed by ASAP. Both of them looking for some engages. To start the team fights with the next turtle of the game already coming up. The Viraga armor being destroyed, and this is something which an Xborg is really vulnerable to in the early game. He's pretty easily countered if that armor is taken out. But I do see Karita looking for grabbing down the Xborg, but gets spotted right away right there by Dark. The passive has been used up. It's an easy turtle for the side of Team Zohunt. There is no zoning. No one even actually trying to compete against them because Stepbros know they don't have the means, they don't have the cool, they don't have the defenses, they don't have the firepower right now. Meanwhile, the taunt connecting onto the Moscow and carry rushing away all from the top lane, but Prime will be able to escape pretty easily. And there might be another engage coming in as Baksha goes in, and here comes the secret combo coming in from the Khalid, and it will be Dusty Mizo who will be taken down. Way too forceful in that exchange. Prime with the SOD connecting, trying to take someone down, and the immunity onto Xborg does a lot of damage, tries to pull him back. The Kadita with the Petrify combo doesn't have the ultimate, but of course ASAP will be paying for it. And with this, once again, Zohan turns the tables into their favor.
Yeah, they are just dictating the pace of this game so far, and there was a weak movement coming out from Prime right there, just trying to go in when there's a lot of people right there. But yeah, it's just safe to say that they are so ahead onto their goal as well as their structure wise. They just willing to take any kind of risk that they want. And right now, if you can see the build, he's not full with the Trinity also, so it's gonna be a little bit of he's gonna take a little bit of time to try to come online, and it's gonna be very hard for them to counter. But look at that.
SOD connecting. There will be no escape for the Garot Kacha. He was way too deep. Carries all alone. Just backs away for now because he knows Zohunt will be coming in with full force. And Garot Kacha hesitates to taunt away Win because Win carry doesn't have enough damage to do anything right now. Meanwhile, Faden being an absolute menace for everyone, just standing there and being the symbol of what can you say, terrorizing everyone. Dark clearing up the lanes because he's the only one who can actually do it right now. The element being used up, but carry in a dicey situation, being taken down by the SOD and the Baksha combo coming in. Look at the damage coming in. And Iceberg uses up that Viraga armor and the ultimate. Prime will be paying for it though. And with that, he's still trying to force it through. Dusty in a really low HP. And actually, the Sandman misses up his ult between so many people. Faden using up that ult, trying to grab onto one kill, but all for naught, as it will be a 2-for-1 trade.
Yeah, that was too much of a costly price to get for one carry right there, and I think Johan made a grave mistake just trying to go for one. But look at the damage coming through. Okay, family problem.
Family problem goes in, and it will be an Uno reverse as ASAP will be just taken down by his own ultimate. Some Okay, the range isn't enough, so Neko will not be able to bombard down family problem. Meanwhile, the same thing happening towards the bot lane. Khalid in a low HP family problem managed to go away. Dark trying to provide some vision, trying to provide that penalty zone, but the follow-ups aren't enough. Carry doesn't have enough damage right now, not enough gold in the first lot of the game. Will Zohan be able to secure it easily? As we do see Fade and the rest of the team also there. People looking for the dance around the map. Dark just the EXP exchanges right there. But I think Zohan will be grabbing it easily. No contest from the side of Team Stepbros.
Yeah, the kill pressure coming up from the side of Zohan is too much, and even there's no squishy that they could take down because even if you try to go full on onto this Kadita, he does have a way to survive. He does have the rough waves, anything that make him able to swim all over the map, and this is why I think the way that Johan are playing is just so aggressive because they have a lot of ways to. They are so mobile. They have a lot of ways to survive, and they're not even scared to lose out any of the members because looking at the way they're playing, they have a lot of gold. But look at that.
How Dusty goes behind trying to take down Carrie. The ultimate from Valentina doesn't actually hit anyone, just provides some zoning away. ASAP trying to take that red will be denied as the minions are forcing the top. The Lord is forcing the board. Faden looking for some exchanges, hiding in the bushes. He is the predator looking for a prey right now. And Step Bros, they need to step back for now. The Lord is coming in. The turrets are falling down. Three inhibitors. Ours what is remaining. Carry too much in the front. Dusty tries to go in looking for some exchanges. And the Holy Shields gets toppled away. The rest of the team. Okay, the family problem using up ultimate. But it's again used up. I think waste right there. But then again, they did win out on a lot of turrets there.
And I think the macro decisions made by Johan is always the one that wins them games because they were able to sing out the Lord so far so good most of the time, and the zone potential coming out from the heroes that they already have. I think it has to be one of best way to utilize onto the Lord to just not force them enough. And there has been a lesser trolls this time around for Zohan because they are so known to try to troll the games where the Lord is up, and they are much more disciplined than I remember. But I think Step Bros are the one actually not getting not even having the space to try to go look for fights. They're too strong for the frontliners of Johan are too strong for them to dive into the backline, and I don't really think even Nico's Scream with the ultimate will be able to reach onto the backlines too most of the time because he's always gonna be in a vulnerable position. There's always the threat from the mermaid, there's always the threat from the sandman. It's always him they targeted on. Look at the bills already, almost a full bill for the main damage dealer for the side of Johan Prime, getting the last bill already. So it's gonna be harder for Stepbros to try to kill him. Meanwhile, look at the damage though.
Okay, Win forcing through, uses up the flicker and the ultimate to escape. The AOTG missing out on anyone, and Dusty Mizo in a tight situation will be taken down. Carrie finally gets a shutdown. A bit of gold for her. Faden in a position to assassinate
Oh.
someone. Okay, gets cut up and just to go away. But right now, I think that was too much of an overextension for the side of Team Zohunt. Although Khalid is back, but Dusty Mizo isn't. Dark, really low HP, flickers away. The ultimate isn't enough to take anyone down. Carry dishing out a lot of damage, but there is Faden always on the always on the lookout for Carry as well as Farsight. They come in, and with this Export using up the ultimate, the Lord has come up. Both the teams just going back, looking for some heals, looking for some exchanges, and just like you said, Debbie, Carry is the win situation, but she doesn't have the room. And of course, Farsa doesn't have it either because there's so much stun, so much mobility, so much range in the hands of Team Zohan that they will be easily grabbing onto this next Lord. But Stepbros actually decide to come in, contest for it. The Raging Sandstorm actually manages to shut down someone, take them down, but it will be Dusty Mizo winning out on that retribution battle. Meanwhile, once again, Faden doing the absolute job he is meant to do, taking down the carry once again. There's everybody connecting, Prime going behind the scenes, taking down Neko, a triple kill for him as Rust will be taken down, a complete wipe out as they march down to take this final battle and grabbing onto an absolute victory with a clean sweep, Debbie.
Yeah, amazing play style. Finally, Prime coming online, and he's gonna be eating up the crystal right there. Johan with the clean sweep. Nothing's new because they were always able to beat Stepbros no matter what the lineup is gonna be.
Well, that was, I think it was the way they drafted. It was a surprise pick,
Yeah.
and yet it worked so well against that
Yeah.
draft. Ash, what do you think if you're back here with us?
Yeah, I mean, that was really unexpected from them. Even though the draft was kind of good from the side of Team Stepbros, but they couldn't utilize it. They couldn't properly execute it against the Zohunt, and really the main MVP was deserving MVP is, I can say, it's Khalid. I mean, he was literally zoning out each and every possible situation, and he was there in each and every moment. So, but it's okay. I mean, MVP goes to Prime. That Prime's SOD connecting there and getting that triple kill was a cherry on top of the cake, and he managed to win. It was like a very defensive setups type of match. Both of the sides take it too far, and then we saw that Prime getting the hands onto the late game. Easy win for them. 2-0. Sadly, I have to say this that Step Bros had step out from the tournament. They will not be the part of the tournament anymore. It's a bye bye time for them. And Zohan will be going to the next round. So let's see how it goes in the next round. Will we find something big coming from Zohan? If they can go for the. I mean, they went for the top five in Feather Arcadia, so maybe they can go for the top five or top four, or maybe they can be the winner of the tournament. Who knows? But right now, it's time for the wrap up, guys. DS won the first set. Now it's, first match, and now it's Team Zohan getting a clean sweep onto that Stebros. 2-0 was the score to win the series and to make a great win from the series. Now, let's go, guys. We have our own walk. You guys have your own walk. We'll be seeing you tomorrow at the same time, 7:30 and 9. Two more matches, two more BO3 will be happening tomorrow. So be there. Stay tuned with us. Don't go anywhere. Tomorrow, stay tuned with us. For today, we'll take a goodbye, guys. So good night, everyone. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Love you all. Sabak here.
ये तारा इनको बहुत ज्यादा दिक्कत देने वाला है। थोड़ा सा फिर से यहाँ पर लौट आएंगे, अंदर जाएंगे पॉप
In time immemorial, the endless war destroyed the balance between yin and yang, plunging the Cadia Riverlands into chaos. As catastrophe loomed, a woman of destiny stepped forth, casting aside divinity for the plight of mortals.
Sacrifice for a fleeting moment of peace in the mortal realm. Does thine heart not regret?
To protect the realm. What is there to regret?
This day, destiny descends once more. Zutian the Ordained, of untold merit and unbound benevolence, preserver of peace and prosperity, unfaded by time. This day, let heaven and earth bear witness as the phoenix ascends the throne. A realm united toward a new golden age.
From time forgotten to the new dawn. As long as I breathe, Shandu shall never fade!
Now you'll be the best sniper ever!
I'm sorry.
Leave me alone.
No! It's a decoy! Ever since that day, I vowed to keep you safe.
Rule with strength and conviction. Blossom with grace and compassion. My strategy spans centuries for those I silently guard. From ashes to empress, my rebirth is eternal. The Phoenix reigns!
ये तारा इनको बहुत ज्यादा दिक्कत देने वाला है। थोड़ा सा फिर से यहाँ पर लौट आएंगे, अंदर जाएंगे पॉपअप।
In time immemorial, the endless war destroyed the balance between yin and yang, plunging the Cadia Riverlands into chaos. As catastrophe loomed, a woman of destiny stepped forth, casting aside divinity for the plight of mortals.
Sacrifice for a fleeting moment of peace in the mortal realm. Does thine heart not regret?
To protect the realm. What is there to regret?
This day, destiny descends once more. Zutian the Ordained, of untold merit and unbound benevolence, preserver of peace and prosperity, unfaded by time. This day, let heaven and earth bear witness as the Phoenix ascends the throne. A realm united toward a new golden age.
From time forgotten to the new dawn. As long as I breathe, Shandu shall never fade!
Now you'll be the best sniper ever!
I'm sorry.
Leave me alone.
No! It's a decoy! Ever since that day, I vowed to keep you safe.
Rule with strength and conviction. Blossom with grace and compassion. My strategy spans centuries for those I silently guard. From ashes to empress, my rebirth is eternal. The phoenix reigns!
ये तारा इनको बहुत ज्यादा दिक्कत देने वाला है। थोड़ा सा फिर से यहाँ पर लौट आएंगे, अंदर जाएंगे पॉपअप।
In time immemorial, the endless war destroyed the balance between yin and yang, plunging the Cadia Riverlands into chaos. As catastrophe loomed, a woman of destiny stepped forth, casting aside divinity for the plight of mortals.